how I feel?
I'm stay judging you. Fuck out of here. That's my whole purpose of your life.
You're a habitual judge stepper. Like you always overstepping. You always overstepping something you shouldn't be judging me on.
I'm stay gonna judge you on some bullshit, yo. Like little baby spit that real. Don't you ever fucking
Little baby nice, bro.
I couldn't name one Little Baby song.
I could. Little Baby last album is that
last album. We got an album?
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yo, you're sick.
We're not gonna do that. All right, yo. Listen, we still stop recording, yo.
Why?
Waiting on Megan.
She.
All right.
I put her in the goddamn Jordan category. Megan get here when she get here.
All right, Silas, say less.
Right. Yo, first of all, yo, I'm tired of you telling me how to engineer this thing, yo. These is great sound bites that we could goddamn use.
Do you know? Oh, you use a sound? Oh, you do a sound bites?
I watch your sound bites.
Okay.
And so I know what you be looking for.
Oh, so now you try to tell me how to do my job.
See, you're not listening. I'm trying to give you content.
Damn. Yeah, he is.
You know what I'm saying? Let me produce you, bro.
You're the assistant executive producer.
No, just the engineer right now.
All right. Until you want more. I'm not ready to give you more. I'm on my Diddy shit. I'm not giving you more. Like you want 2 million.
Till we farm this shit out.
2 million? What? We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, man.
Yeah. All right, man.
We might have to wait on that one.
Yeah.
Let everybody trickle in.
Yeah, man. We got to cook on that. I'm ready, man. I told Cool Lad I was so ready. I've been hyped all week for that shit.
That's good. I like when you hype.
Oh, hold up. It's gonna be interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
You over here not mismanaging the talent and shit.
Who, me?
Yeah, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be to me, motherfuckers. I don't care what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know where you live at, and I just show up, yo. Cut it out.
Okay, say less.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't said nothing. Stick to a can of oil.
You be walking out the house all jolly, you're heading to work, and them motherfuckers.
I ain't never jolly.
And them motherfuckers dump you. Then what?
It's 4:30 in the morning. I ain't never jolly.
What that mean, yo? I used to be a cook, bro. You ain't
used
saying
to be.
Shit. I've been up since 3:30 this morning.
You used to do a lot of things. You used to run. The nerve of me. The nerve of me. Like I ain't got the biggest. Like I ain't got the biggest.
Man, I don't know why you're just to be like, oh, you said that. I don't know why you.
Yo,
that's messed up, D.
No, I love you.
I don't know.
I only do that to him though. You see that? He can take it.
I still got it.
And the old lady. You grinding
the
old lady.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing
that this year. She'll go there talking about what's up with you today. Bitch, you got fired.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been fired from anywhere, but I don't think I've been back to any place I stopped working.
Yo, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't go back to old jobs, yo.
I'm never walking on the ship again. When I was gonna go out to Cali for the reunion, they were like, "Yo, we're gonna go to the ship and get piped on," and man, get out my face.
I'm cool off that. No, sir. Not me.
Yeah, I don't think I can get back on the ship, bro.
For what?
Yeah.
I felt weird going down to DC not too long ago.
Not to visit.
I'm not hanging down here.
I'm cool off that.
What else?
All right, man.
Okay.
I want to talk, but I'm finna say I can't say the shit I want to say. I gotta wait till we start the podcast.
You should be coming any second now.
All right. Do you want to wait on intros, or you want to just do intros?
All right.
Come on, man.
Yo, listen, don't rush me, dog. I do this.
Speak just shit up, bro.
Hold on, man. I got my. This is Brothers Talking Podcast, episode 79. I am the Flesh Man, also known as the Fat Boy, better known as the man who got no problem calling you broadish. And I'm the FBFG. I'm bringing that back.
And I'm Rel, aka Iceberg Shorty, aka the King of Controversial Comments. I'm back like I never left. Last week I was off my shit. Rest in peace to goddamn Kobe Bean Bryant. But I'm back, you know what I'm saying, better than ever. Mr. I don't give a fuck.
True.
Hey, and it's Cool Mike, aka Dr. Mike, also known as the People's Podiatrist, aka your favorite foot doctor. They call me Dropship Shorty, Saturday Night Mike, Crypto Cool, coming to you from the Prophetic Podcast, Brothers Talking Shit.
With your cool ass.
Yeah.
Man, you already know what it is. It's your homie boy Juice, aka the Charm Guy, aka Juice, aka the Big Beard Bandit. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just I'm ready to pod today, man. I know we got a lot of shit to talk about. I'm ready to say some shit.
Yeah.
Hey Megan, you there? Can you hear us? You got hit? Oh my goodness. Hold up. Let me
Tap and hit the unmute.
yeah.
What's up, y'all? My name is Megan, aka the real Megan P. I'm a writer, live in Houston. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. How y'all feeling today, man?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good, man.
Yeah, I know, man. Give my brother a proper shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Happy
I said
35th.
happy birthday.
Yeah.
We gotta let the world know though.
Yeah, we
Happy
were
35th birthday.
You know what I'm saying?
To
Happy
Andrew,
birthday, Juice.
Andrew Williams / Butterscotch / the Big
All
Beer
these
Bandit.
nicknames.
Yeah.
He got more names than
He got more
nothing,
names
man.
than
All these
everybody.
nicknames.
Yeah.
I know about all this.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you gonna see. Happy
He's
35th
real.
though, bro.
He exists. I am not a myth. I am a thing. You know,
Yeah,
I'm here.
talk your shit, Juice. Talk your
Hey.
shit.
Welcome to the other side of 30, bro. Like this shit is vicious on this side, bro.
Yeah.
It was easy.
It's
Them first
actually
5.
so much fun. Y'all don't love your 30s?
I love
yeah,
my
no
30s.
doubt.
I love my 30s for sure.
I just had 2 long ass grades that was like longer than the rest of my shit. I just trimmed them
It's
J's
like
down.
Michael Jackson. This is it. I'm on the. I got 10 months.
He had the end, right? He had the end.
Jeez.
Rel 39. I'm 38. Cool. How old are you, Cool?
Cool about to be
42,
43.
43
Next
almost.
week. Yeah.
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 Oh, so y'all all looking at me, waiting for me to say my age?
You don't got
that
to.
what
We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that for women.
Listen,
we real G's. We'll do that.
we want to bring you back possibly. We don't want to ruin that situation.
Hey, so we was at a book event, right? And Megan's cousin is there. Now, I'm not thinking before I speak, but she looks just like Megan. So in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, that must be your mom. Cause like she just looks so much like her. I wasn't even thinking about age. And she was like, nigga, dog, Megan had a joke. She like, what? Okay. So she go over there and tell her.
Trust me, and she still brings that shit up to this day.
Hey,
Okay?
nigga, she came in like, her mama, nigga. You know, they from New Orleans. Her mama, nigga. Oh, man. But
That's funny.
I'm sorry, I fucked that one up so terribly.
You don't never do that. I'd rather say sister and it be the mama than mom and it be anything else.
Yeah.
All right, Megan, you wasn't here last week, so let's get you. How do you feel about the whole Kobe Bryant and the whole crash thing, and how did that take hold for you?
Man, it was crazy. I was actually I was watching the most recent episode of Power with my mom. So we're sitting there watching, and just my natural instinct, I pick up my phone, you know, and I'm like looking on Twitter, blah, 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 and I see the first thing, Kobe Bryant, and my face was just like, what the fuck? And instantly, you know, she was like, what happened? You know, and before I say something, I'm just trying to make sure I know how people talk and I know how TMZ is. And I think everybody's first reaction was, okay, this can't be true. Like, this is some, you know, and it took a while for it to really like sink in. And it really doesn't make sense. I was just having this conversation not too long ago, like just saying the sentence out loud doesn't even make sense. Like, it, you know, it's almost surreal. And what's crazy about it, even more than everything that already is crazy, where it's, you know, it's not just Kobe Bryant, it's not just his daughters, it's not just everybody else that was on there with him and all the stories that surround it, but, you know, the timing of it all, and the timing of, you know, LeBron just breaking his record, you know, the night before, and LeBron being the last tweet that he sent, and the last person who this, and, you know, the debate that for over a decade has always been Kobe versus LeBron, and people trying to pin them against each other, you know, and of all time for it to happen, and LeBron just happened to be playing for the Lakers, you know, their next home game is against the Clippers at the, you know, it's just like, just the timing of it all, it's almost like, it, like I said, you know, it just doesn't make sense. And on the same weekend as the Grammys, and you think about like the Nipsey Hussle tribute and everything that LA just went through with that, and now having to deal with this, I was actually just telling my son, I said, you know, when you have the debate, I was always more of a LeBron fan than I was a Kobe fan, you know, but I feel like I have to be a Lakers fan this season. You know, it's almost like, I told my son, I said, I can't imagine somebody else other than the Lakers winning the championship this year, because just of how everything has just lined up. However, it's not going to be fair for other people to just be like, well, let's just let them win, you know? So
Right.
it's going to be interesting to see how things play out, man. But it doesn't even seem real, you know, and it just really makes you think, like, somebody of that level, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how much status you have, you know, like, none of us are invincible, you know.
Oh, she's good.
She partnered that.
She's good. Oh,
She
okay.
partnered that.
She listen. She know the next game coming up and everything. What threw me for a loop too was the whole thing that him and his wife had an agreement that they would never fly together on the helicopter. That was
Yeah, and you
another
know
thing
the
I learned
reason
this week.
why he, you know, chose to fly in helicopters was ironically so he could spend more time with his children as opposed to being in traffic. But that's
Right.
also some shit that rich people do. Like, some of us are just too broke, but we just gotta sit in fucking traffic, you know. But
And
that's
figure it out.
just, you know, one of those privileges. But I was just saying too, like, when they had was it the Sugar Bowl, when LSU's, I think his defensive
The
their
offensive
defensive
coordinator.
lineman, their daughter-in-law died in a helicopter crash going to the game. I said, look, I don't need a romantic helicopter ride. Like, those small planes freak me out, you know. And
I feel you.
you know, when you think about somebody so young and so sudden, I mean, I honestly haven't been that shook since, like, Aaliyah passed away. You know, because when you think about somebody, you know, like I said, it was just, you think about the potential, and just, you know, it just, it's just crazy.
Fellas, how y'all feel a week out from the Kobe situation?
Well, the tribute didn't happen until Friday night, right? So I'm sitting in my, was it Friday or Saturday?
No. Was it?
Yeah, when they played
It might have been. I mean,
when they played Portland.
That was Friday. It was Friday. It was Friday.
Thursday, no, maybe
It was Friday.
It was Friday.
Friday.
It was Friday, right?
Mhm.
So I literally sat in my office alone and cried. Like, I was at Disney World when I found out, and it was a chain reaction. So you'll meet Jordan when he get on board. Jordan FaceTimes me. I'm, you know what I'm saying, walking from, you know what I'm saying, a ride, and I FaceTime Neef. And we all, like, in disbelief, like, nah.
We was all researching, like, hold up, let's
yeah,
dig deep before
everybody's
we.
reaction was like, this can't be true, like, this is crazy.
Right.
Yeah, so I literally, you know, broke down and listened to Usher sing, and then the violinist, and then, like, everything you do now is like Kobe, right? And it's just one of those. It's tough, man.
You saying Randy Moss and Richard
Randy
Sherman?
Moss broke down, yeah. Richard
And know what else I think gonna happen? I think teams that come into that state in that building, they gonna show out like Dame did. They gonna come with their best games to put on in that Staples Center against them Lakers. So I don't think anybody's folding. Like, Dame came out and went in on them boys Friday night. It wasn't no, oh, we gonna give you all a
Yeah.
pass. And no, I got love for Kobe too. So, I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be a thing where though teams might be, especially coming to that Staples Center, given their true effort, as far as showing out and leaving a print on that floor.
Also, Kyrie Irving too, because him and Kyrie Irving were really close, and I heard Kyrie Irving showed out the other night too.
Oh yeah, no doubt. What about What about Vanessa? Vanessa coming out and talking cool. How you feel about that?
I feel like in this day and age, you talking to me? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. Cooler, get with it next. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was I was just rambling. No, I was just saying I think it sucks that I feel like some people feel pressured to make statements this day and age, like with social media and as they're grieving, like LeBron and Vanessa,
All right, what you got, Cool?
That's a good point. It's unimaginable, man. It's unimaginable to lose your partner and your child at the same time. So just like Megan said, it's to if you don't say something in a certain time frame, it's like public sentiment could sway and say, "Hey, why didn't you say anything?" If you say something too soon, if you say so, it's one of those situations where you can just hope and pray that she has whatever support system intact to comfort them in this time, because otherwise you can go crazy looking at people's opinions of it, and whatever she would have said, I cannot imagine that being a whole and coherent, true thought and sentiment. It's hard. It's still hard. It's not as hard as when it first happened, but like Ralph said, when you think about you still thinking about it. So there's a reset button that happens when you either hear it or see an ad or see a clip. I didn't look at LeBron's thing right away. I took a day or two. You know what I mean? I just wasn't, I had to decompress some from consuming and being emotional about the situation. I think it's just always say it's unnatural for. I used to have a professor in college. She used to always say it's unnatural for a parent to have to bury a child. And so anytime that law of nature is disturbed in a way, it's kind of extra disturbing. So even though Kobe seemed to have accomplished so much in such a young life, and you think about his daughter and everybody else involved in losing their lives so early, it's still unsettling for a lot of different reasons. One of which seemingly is because he had another 40 or 60 years left on the earth, or so you think.
And another thing, I heard that him and his dad wasn't necessarily on the same page yet. I heard they they went through a little situation as far as I think some merchandise, something was sold, or so that's something like like when you leave out the door, like even I had to incorporate that in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like with me and my wife, like end of the day, like perfect example, like my wife went to go drop my daughter off. I happened to not go, and I was really thinking to myself, like it's so routine, but it could easily be a thing where as though she don't come home. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what it makes you think about. Like everything that's every day. Like I leave out this house every day at 4:30, and I walk. The sun not out enough, and I go do what I gotta do. I mean, I live in Jersey. I go all the way to Philly to work. It's easy for something for me not to make it home, or to go through something, and that just puts that more in perspective. Like not leaving, no attitudes, or getting everything straight as far as the last thing you want to do is for something to happen to somebody and y'all not on the same page, and the last conversation y'all had wasn't the best. You get what I'm saying? So those kind of things really pop into my mind often now with that. You get what I'm saying? Juice, what's up? You there?
Yeah, for me, man, it's like I was in LA. I had already had a trip planned to LA.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was surreal because it's like I'm excited about going. And like that evening, it seemed like a bunch of shit was just happening because I'm fucking working on stuff. I'm still working on the project. I'm trying to leave. And then you know, it's like I'm seeing Kobe, you know what I'm saying, get surpassed up by LeBron. Then I'm seeing TMZ say dead the next day. It was just like a lot going on.
Right.
So, you know, to be there on the day that we're gonna film, you know, we filmed the podcast too, it was just odd, man. It was just a lot going on. But as of now, I think I'm still stunned. But I do think about the family more. I think about myself more. I think mortality has become something that is like, okay, hey, this is real. This can happen to me. What do I have set up in place for my family? What I've set up for my kids? You know, what happens when? What happens if? You know what I'm saying? It just, a lot of things are more in perspective, even on this chase to success. You know what I'm saying? Every day I get up, my mind is on the goal, on the bag. But it's like, you know, maybe some days I need to just say, hey, and just live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Just love my family and just shit like that. So I'm definitely thinking about how shit is.
Okay. All right. We done with Kobe. Oh, here you go. You got some Kobe shit, brother, to get off your chest?
Rest in peace, Bean. I'm going to live my life in a Mamba mentality way and seize the day and attack, man. And, you know, it's I'm a diehard Laker fan. You know, I had people reaching out to me I ain't talked to in years, like ex-girlfriends who told me they could never speak to me again, sent me DMs because they know how big of a Kobe Bryant fan I am, man. And I was saying, I was like, you know, if you know me and didn't reach out to me, then you don't know me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up people I ain't talked to in 10, 15 years, like, yo, I know you going through it, man, because I'm a huge fan, man. I always have been, man. So it just took me back, and you know, to tell my soon to be 15-year-old son that, you know what I'm saying, one of his dad's favorite people, you know what I'm saying, lost their life in such a tragic, horrific way, and everybody's looking for answers, and it's not just old age or, you know what I'm saying, drive-by shooting. It's like something he's been doing for the past 15 years to ensure that he spent the maximum time with his family. You know what I'm saying, ultimately took his life. And, you know, obviously, there's just so much eerie stuff that's going on.
That LeBron speech was dope, too, real quick. I really felt that. Like, I'm glad he got rid of that piece of paper. Whatever that piece of paper said, I'm glad he just spoke from the heart and gave that, you know, 100. I got a couple little small Kobe things real quick. We ain't going to be on Kobe too long, though. Should they change the NBA logo? It's
No,
been that way. Jerry West said he with it. They shouldn't change it. How you
they're not gonna
feel,
change
Cool?
that logo.
Me, I say yes. I say yes. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, times change, things evolve, and Jerry West has said that he's cool with it. You know, I mean, it's a change, but it's not like something that's going to be so drastically different where it's like, oh my God, you know. I think it would be, I mean, when you think about it's Kobe Bryant. When you think about the impact on the NBA, I mean, when's the last time we've had somebody that has had that kind of impact, you know?
He definitely ain't no bum.
I'm here for it, but I got a question. What would the image be?
Well,
They
they made
had
it.
a few going
It's
around.
a couple, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
They made it.
The fadeaway was out there.
I seen like the meme circuit. I think I like the fadeaway image the best. I saw another image, but I'm just saying, you know, like if you think of iconic imagery, what would it be? I think that's an interesting question. Even though it's a lesser question, but I think that's an interesting take. What would the image be? Like, you know.
And go ahead, Juice.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I've seen enough as far as imagery to accept something similar to what it is now, but that would be obviously Kobe's silhouette. I think it would be dope. I think a player like that who's had such an impact, who's arguably top 3 greatest player of all time, you know, he's gonna be an argument for me. You know, when you start talking about Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, I feel like it is probably appropriate to change the logo, especially due to the circumstance. Will they do it? I don't know. You know, when we talk branding and shit like that, I don't know, but who knows, man? They might. I mean, he meant a lot to the NBA. He did a lot for the NBA. So.
And Jerry West wasn't never the best ball in the league. Like, ain't like Jerry West. If it was Jordan, I could dig it more than, oh, we're not going to change it. Jerry West was,
Right.
and it's been a long time. And Jerry's like, it's the perfect reason to change it. And then you can sell a bunch of new merchandise. So there's money to be made too. So, like I said, Jerry West, even in Jerry West's day, Jerry West was one of the best players in the league, but he wasn't the best player in the league. So it's not like, Jerry West is Mr. Untouchable as far as the league. If you name most people's top 10, he might come in the end of that. I never seen him play for him to even be in mine. But let's say historians, I'm pretty sure he's not top 5 NBA players of all time. So it's not like you're taking the best player off. And like you said, we talking about somebody who's possible, more than likely, I consider to be the best player to ever play, but top
I
3 at
think
most.
I think what not to cut you off, but I think what also works, to your point, is that Kobe, for whatever it's worth, rehabilitated his image and became has garnered a lot of goodwill amongst people and reputation and in the league. So I don't think it'd be much of any backlash. You really just not changing it because there's a tradition that you set up, right? Oh, that's the only good reason. I don't think you're gonna get people like, oh no, NBA fans ain't gonna be like, oh no, leave it as is. NBA fans will be with opening it up. What's the image gonna be? Choose the image, make it a whole event. You feel me? And put Kobe on just out of the sake of like Megan said, the changes, changes and inevitable and can be a good thing. And there's no other better time to honor somebody in a way and kind of ease that change. And I think it's a good idea, just off the strength of just cause.
Hey, cool. I think you got something there too. If you incorporate the fans and make it a voting thing, that could be a
Yeah,
win-win across the board. Where though
that'd be
everybody feel like they
big.
involved in it. Where let's say they came out with the silhouette before, and it was whoever in the meeting room decided that it could be more of everybody getting a chance to have an input. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Right, but I don't want it to be spur of the moment type, what I'm saying, thing where, they just like everything again now is Kobe, 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 right? So I don't want the
like a
casual
pity shit,
fan. Yeah,
some
like
pity
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, we ain't had the memorial yet. Like this is the peak is not even, what I'm saying? We still ascending on them for real.
And that's this shit like a wound that's not going to close because, like I said, All-Star Week in 2 weeks. His birthday coming up. The NBA championship. The Lakers going to win, of course. So another celebration. Then he go to then he go to the Hall of Fame. It's like
Right, the shoe's supposed to be coming out this week. All-Star game, Mamba Day still April 13th.
The
Automatic
ESPYs.
ESPYs, right? It's I mean, hell, they
I'm
go.
look at
like,
Meg. Look at you,
She
Megan. I see
cooking.
you.
You know what I'm saying? She cooking. Yeah.
We
We
like
ain't had
her.
Oscars yet. Oscars
She
haven't
know the
happened yet
ESPY's
either, right?
coming.
I mean,
Oscars too as
yeah,
well, right? And the Oscars coming up. Am I
they
wrong?
haven't had the Oscars yet either.
He got
I
an
mean,
Oscar,
every
He got an
chance they
Oscar
get,
and
people
an
are gonna
Emmy,
be,
or a Tony or something.
Emmy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Megan.
Oh no, I was just saying every chance they get, people are gonna be having a Kobe tribute. It's just one of those things. It's like, what else can you say? It's Kobe Bryant. Like
You can't not acknowledge
Global.
it. You can't not
Global
acknowledge it. Right. You
icon.
got to acknowledge it. If you have to acknowledge it.
You see what they did in the building in Dubai?
Yeah. I seen that.
That was dope.
No,
One more
what?
thing. They had them on the
They
Go ahead, bro.
projected the image of him and Gigi on the tallest building in the world in Dubai, like all the way up. It was sick.
one thing
Alright.
that I really do, like I said, I was always more of a LeBron fan than I was a Kobe fan. I was one of those, I always thought Kobe was cocky, overrated, blah, 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 whatever, But one thing that I definitely appreciated about him post retirement, whether it was vicariously through his daughter or whatever, but the advocacy that he gained and pursued with women's sports, because he saw his daughter Gianna, who was him in a female form,
Mm-hmm.
and how he really started, working with the WNBA and pushing for certain things and stuff like that because he saw that fire in his daughter, and I mean, it's sad to say, that they're not here. I had somebody who actually brought up a good point that said, well, they say God works in mysterious ways, but who knew that they had such a close relationship, maybe she wouldn't have been able to make it without him. So,
yo, you took my comment. Yo, I'm just about to say that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but at the same time, us being human beings, we really just try to find consolation and try to make sense of things in whatever way that we can,
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's just, that was one thing that I definitely can say that I appreciated about Kobe, that I'm going to be disappointed that I won't be able to see, is his influence on women's sports,
And that was the one thing I was going to say. Like, I was sitting there waiting for you to finish so I could say that. But what I had seen was the fact that maybe both of them wouldn't have been able to be okay without each other.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of the pictures that you seen, not saying that he had a favorite, but it seemed like his older daughter was probably more close knit with Vanessa. And Gigi was like, if you see every championship, every picture he was taking, it was her. It was always him and her. So maybe,
they definitely had a special connection,
Yeah, so maybe they wouldn't have been able to, be able to be here without the other. One more Kobe thing. We ain't gonna Kobe it up too much for the whole, but what y'all think about the NBA All-Star LeBron team wearing Gigi's number and Giannis team wearing 24? What y'all think of that for the All-Star game?
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's gonna be more tears to be shed, man. A lot of cats changing their numbers too, going away from doing a little. I think Quinn Cook wore 28, 2 for Gigi, and the 8 for Kobe.
He changed his number to 28.
Right, he changed number 28. Yeah, right. And then Woody changed his number from 8 to I think 26 or something. All right, we love Kobe. Rest in peace to Kobe.
One of the things that oh no, I was just gonna say, when y'all were talking about numbers and stuff, one of the things that stuck out to me, and once again, maybe that's because I'm a female, but UConn hanging Gigi's jersey over their bench,
Right.
Me as a female growing up, I played basketball all through high school and all that kind of stuff. UConn and Tennessee was the school to go to if you were a female basketball player, and knowing, that she really wanted to go there and all of that, I'm sure that they're going to have all kinds of scholarships and all kinds of stuff in her honor. So.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a good one. Yeah. Definitely a good one. All right. Last night, Super Bowl. How'd y'all feel about the game? Did y'all take in the game? Did y'all not care?
Not really.
Get something.
Nobody here is a fan of any of those teams.
Yeah.
If you go to the Super Bowl, nobody gives a shit. It's just a cool thing to do, right? Like, I'm over it. Like, who gives a shit? I didn't watch nothing about it. We got a New Orleans fan, a Houston fan, 2 Baltimore fans, and a Vikings fan. Nobody gives a shit about neither one of those teams.
I think it was, some people were just partying because the Patriots weren't playing. Like, some people were just literally throwing parties. Like, I don't care who wins. I'm just glad the Patriots aren't playing.
You ain't never lied.
It's always a much easier thing to tolerate when you don't have a horse in the race.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I can't imagine being a 49ers fan right this morning.
Right.
Hey, but for all being said, it was a good game. Came down. It wasn't like a blowout. It was something you could watch the whole time.
A good game.
It was a good game.
I just use the excuse to kick it with my family. Other than that, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was definitely a good game. Last minute, Kansas City pulling that out. I really thought San Fran might have won that.
That's what they do. Like, that's what Kansas City does. Like, they did it 3 times this playoffs. That wasn't shocking.
Man, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. Hey, I'm going to tell you like this.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they did it to your team.
Hey, Texans, you got one. Hey, Texans got, I'm saying it right now as an H-Town nigga, okay? And this is tough for me to say this, bro. I'm saying this to the world. I'm disheartened. I shouldn't even have to say no shit like this, but listen. You motherfuckers fuck this season up. Don't get no ring. I'm done with y'all, bro. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of fucking.
Juice.
I'm tired
Nah,
of
you
fucking.
can't do that, Juice.
Yeah, fuck them.
He
I'm
partying
tired of
tonight,
this
bro.
shit.
He partying tonight, man.
You
Let him
can't
cook.
do that, bro.
Let Juice cook, bro.
Rockets, you're on notice.
The Rockets.
You're on notice.
You're dumb. You might as well pick a new team.
No, wait. Now, if you lose because you lose, hey, I can deal with that. But if you lose because James Harden, you want to party a motherfucking Spire all goddamn night, and your jump shot out because he Houston titties and ass thing got on you, I'm gonna have a fucking problem. I'm gonna be done with your motherfucking ass. Astros, I'm gonna let y'all off the hook. I think y'all got fucked over.
Hold on. Hey, Juice, whoa. Man, y'all had some conspiracy shit, but y'all was still in
Hey man, it's a part of the game.
He was wearing a whole wire on the joint.
It's a part of the game.
Don't mess up my jersey.
Don't
the MLB,
the home run.
The MLB said they can't confirm that. It's a part of the game. Everybody done said it. And old buddy a snitch. He snitched on. Didn't he have to snitch? See, that's whole shit, bro. I can't fuck with this. So Astros, you off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Southside.
Everybody got fired, Juice. Everybody can't be off the hook.
Dog.
Everybody got fired.
Hey,
I fuck
so
around
unfair.
get fired because of the shit that Houston did.
It was so unfair, bro. Hey, they can't keep a real player down. So I'm fucking with y'all.
Hey, yo, I think Juice, you see got that big ass beard. Juice might have had some shit, a mic or something in that motherfucker. Giving out some signals, getting that shit right for the motherfuckers. That's why Juice hiding.
Hey, man. Fuck it.
You gonna Terrence Howard it?
Hey, man. Hide that wire, man.
All right, game though. True, yeah, at least it was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah.
We got an addition to the podcast, y'all see?
Jordan, what's up, Jordan? Megan, that's cousin Jordan. He's always late.
No.
Hey, come on, bro.
Hi, cousin Jordan.
What's happening, sister Megan? What's going on?
All right. Yo, maybe it's me, right? Is it really over for Super Bowl commercials, man? Has that shit really lost its flair?
Yeah.
Like, remember when we was Bucks, Super Bowl commercials was the shit. Like, Super Bowl commercials was almost most games, because most games was blowouts anyway.
Well, that's because the commercial is dead. It has nothing to do with Super Bowl commercials. Commercials as we know them is dead. I only buy shit that pixels me on Facebook and Instagram, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
If it's not a YouTube ad or a Google Chrome ad,
yeah, you're getting pixeled. Trust me.
I be mad when you can't skip after 5 seconds. I'm like, you still got this shit. You still got regular commercials.
That shit is the worst. That shit is the worst,
I have closed out of apps and gone to some other shit.
The little Nas X commercial was funny though.
The Charlie from Always Sunny joint with the stain on the shirt. No, main man from
yeah, that joint was funny too.
Main man from Lisa Bonet husband.
I didn't see that.
Oh, Jason Momoa. I know that answer.
Yo, chill.
Damn, Megan, thirst much?
Yo, seriously.
I was waiting for the right time to jump in. That was
her phone started shaking back there. She almost dropped the iPad. Jason Momoa.
Listen, that's still Aquaman to me. I'm like, Aquaman, yeah, that nigga. Took his muscles off and shit. His drink was funny.
I thought he was from Game of Thrones.
That too.
He was.
Yeah.
Now he on C. I gotta watch C on Apple TV.
Lisa Bonet's husband.
Yeah. And listen, the weird shit is him and what's name be hanging out. Him and Lenny Kravitz. I think he bought Lenny Kravitz a matching ring or some shit, and they got like matching something. I forgot what it is.
Okay, that's weird. I was about to say the fact that they hang out is not so weird, but buying him a ring that's weird.
It was something jewelry wise.
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
I seen Will, his ex-wife, her husband, and Jada go on vacations together.
Well, look, we've had that conversation already.
Yeah.
You got to have a certain amount of money to pull that kind of shit off.
Did he started it?
No, I think they was first. You can't be in a Motel 6 with your baby mama and your wife and think that shit gonna get rough for you, brother.
Yeah.
Swiss Beats do it too. Swiss Beats did it as well.
Yeah, but his ex-wife aired him out though. Like Bashana was bitter and scorned. Like
Yeah. How you feel about that, Megan?
The only thing that I feel about it is because I hear a lot of people always cracking jokes on Alicia Keys being a home wrecker and this and that, and I get it. Some of the jokes are funny or whatever, but I never hear as many people blaming Swiss Beats for whatever happened. You know, everybody always want to, make comments about Alicia, but I'm like, but it's not like, he was the one who was married. So where, but I mean, this is a old story, where we always place the blame on the other woman. So, it's not new, but I mean,
And I think that's gender specific too, because I never heard of a man being a home wrecker. It's just not one of those things. It's one of those double standards that work out in our favor from time to time. Like, I wish somebody would call me, "You're a home wrecker." I would laugh in their face. Especially another man. Don't call my phone, bro, talking about you're a home wrecker, because I'm going to clown you. Like, that's why she with me now, dogs.
Listen, the only man who do nut shit like that is Main Man off of, what's your show? Insecure. Ooh. That shit all the way nutty. Because guess what? When I was that kind of guy, if you had a boyfriend, I had no problem sending your ass right back home. Like, I'm not trying to keep you here, nothing.
Hold up, though. They got some kind of homewrecker law somewhere in one of them states. Somebody won a judgment against, if you could prove that y'all home was happy or something. And
you get paid.
Somebody won a judgment. Yeah, he won like a thousands of dollars, like a big judgment against the wife and the ex-wife and the new dude. He won a big judgment against the ex-wife and the new dude and had to pay up because they said the new dude. And somebody tried to do Fletcher. They sued Fletcher Cox from the Eagles like that. He was messing with somebody's wife. It's called like the homewrecker law. He was messing with somebody's wife in one of them Carolinas, I think, again, and they tried to sue him or sued them or wanted to or something like that.
Yo, y'all on point tonight. Man. Y'all on point tonight because I had this on my list on the humbug. So let me ask y'all this, each one. If you found out your spouse was stepping out on you, do you confront the person that they stepping out with? How do you go about that? I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
I don't step to no nigga point blank, period. I'm not stepping to another man unless I know you. Like if I know
that's
you,
different.
Right. If I know you, that's a whole nother situation. But I don't step to no man point blank. I'm not doing that. I don't got no rep. I'm going. That's just how I move. I ain't fighting nobody or nothing. I'm busting a clean move.
I mean, you don't hate the player, bro. You hate the game.
Yeah, that's
what I'm
saying.
Like at the end of the day, I feel like this. Boom. I slip up on my pimping. I get caught up. My old lady cheating on me or whatever. It's a wrap. Hey, it happened. You cheated on me. It's fucked up. Now for me, I'm escape from that situation. I'm moving away from it. I'm gonna be like, hey, I can't fuck with you. But I definitely got to take a look at myself and probably see that there's probably some weaknesses in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look at myself and share. I'm not going to fuck with her no more. But I'm just not going to trip. I'm going to be like, hey, hey, man, it happened. Hey. Megan, you look confused.
I'm listening. Look, I'm listening. Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, and that's just going to be that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Wait, so I didn't know y'all could see me. And I'm going to like ask. So go ahead.
You ain't know we can see you?
Yeah,
I didn't know that y'all could see me when somebody else is talking.
Yeah, I can see your face. I can see like,
us?
What the fuck is he talking about?
She can't unless she move it to the right, and it's on the phone.
Yeah. You can see us individually.
Yeah.
If you hit the gallery view.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the gallery view. Look at that.
Yeah. I'm not.
You see all of us now, right?
No, I'll figure it out.
I'm not tripping on I'm not gonna fight nobody though. I think that shit is whack. Like when people try to go fight the person that like was, just really to me, a side bitch, side nigga, whatever, they just playing their role. Why would you go fight them?
How you feel about it, Megan?
So the question is, who would I approach? Right? That's the question.
Would you approach the other, like the person that's not your spouse, the other woman?
Or the other man. It's 2020. We're progressive.
Like
right.
Chill. Right.
Like y'all said,
that shit real.
Initially, not unless it was somebody that I knew, you know. I would, of course, like initially confront the person that I'm with. But if we had contact or if it came down with it, you know, came down to it, then yeah, I would bring it up. But I wouldn't go after somebody that I didn't know, because my ties aren't to a stranger. My ties are to the person that I'm dealing with. You know, and who knows, especially, I mean, me being a female, I've been lied to before myself. So, I mean, who knows what lies he was telling her or whatever, you know. So my only concern with loyalty is with him.
I agree. Anybody
These
else got
hoes ain't
anyone?
loyal.
You ain't never lied. Megan look like she'll poke a motherfucker or something though. No, Megan, no. You from New Orleans too?
Look, I'm just saying, man. Look,
Listen, Megan, I put some shit in your food. You be like, oh shit, spaghetti good like a motherfucker.
classic,
Oh,
No,
shit.
look, he
classic.
be like, babe, you gotta make this all the time. What you did something different? We could be dead. We could be dead in 8 minutes. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Let me ask you about the Jay-Z and Beyonce sitting down for the national anthem at the Super Bowl shit. How y'all
Big
feel
cat.
about it?
Big cat.
What you
Yeah.
mean by that?
Is it still
It
news?
was cat. That was cat.
Is that like news?
No, it ain't to me.
I
that was
like,
cat.
yo, is it me or do I live in a world where I just don't give a fuck about certain shit? Wasn't the lady sitting right in front of them to the left sitting down as well?
Yeah.
Am I missing something? Is it an area
cat.
where nobody's standing up? Because somebody was not standing, that was like directly to the left of them. Older white lady, am I wrong?
No.
Or did I just glance over the picture? Like,
I glanced at it. You
Okay.
did. I did the same thing I did. Like,
Well,
I don't
you
think
know how
it's
that go.
news. I don't think it's news. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was intentional. But, I mean, there's significance in regards to social, like their presence is like these social activists is really, it doesn't really reach to me. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of respect people more so on the ground level, like day to day, who you can actually see affect change in, you know, my direct environment, or, you know, the city I live in, or town I live in, or any town any town that's, you know, black folks or whatever, disenfranchised people. Like, you see their influence directly. I don't, like, they billionaires. There's no morally good billionaires on the planet. There's some level of exploitation that's gonna follow all of that.
Damn. How you gonna say that? You just
It
showed
That's
every
true.
bit.
That's
It
true,
ain't
bro.
though.
But that is true, though. Yeah,
I'm rolling.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that is
I wasn't
true.
arguing with that. I'm rolling.
Yeah.
No,
It's
I'm just
nothing.
saying that's a hell of a statement to make. Like,
Yeah,
But
that
there's
is
nothing
true.
wrong with that. It's
when you
nothing
say
wrong
it
with
ain't
it.
any, because I hate when they say all black men are, just when you say ain't any,
Hey, bro,
it's
you know
really
how I
like,
mean? Hey, you know how I mean? Feet and necks you gotta step on to get a
Yeah.
billion.
When you look at like the numbers of it all, like it's literally almost like it doesn't make sense for anybody to be a billionaire. Like
Like,
it's
me, think of it
just
like this.
almost
You
like,
don't
yeah,
need that much money.
you don't.
Yo,
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yo, Jeff Bezos has what, 156 billion? Or
He
it was
got
half of that?
divorced, his wife took half, and he's still the
Yeah,
richest person on the
85
planet.
billion.
Like,
Need a whole,
yeah.
it's people starving to death, like dying. And you got a $85 billion, you sleeping like a baby.
No, no doubt.
and barely pays taxes.
No, he didn't pay his
None.
taxes. He didn't
Yeah.
pay his taxes.
Yeah.
Amazon
All
ain't pay
I'm
no
saying
taxes.
is, if you just said most of, when you say
Well, that's
basically,
on a
I'm just saying
social
when you
level.
say
On a social
when you
level, generalization is unfair. But when you talking about money, that's a quantifiable. You can
Yeah,
actually
you could go
count.
find that.
You can
see
go
that.
find that.
Most billionaires, you got to think about it like this, and this is just the point blank period fucking truth. You got that much money, there's a quadrant of your fucking money entangled in bullshit, you know,
Yeah.
and it ain't no way that you don't even either A, assume that, or B, you know that, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what the fuck it is, because when you think about the market and how money flows, when you have that much motherfucking skin in the game, your shit is running through some shit that you probably, you know, should stop or step in and say, hey, I shouldn't be doing that. Like Walmart. You know, Walmart is involved in so many motherfucking human rights goddamn violations, but when you make that much money and you in the market of, you know, distribution and creating goods and, you know, manufacturing, you're going to be breaking some fucking rules. You're going to overstep your boundaries. So, you know, I agree with you, Jordan. I'm going to say this, you know, as far as them sitting down and shit, I do think it's major cap. I think it's the type of shit that it's not a knock on Jay or Beyonce.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. I'm glad they on they thing and, you know, they grind as far as trying to be activists, but I kind of feel like, man, this shit ain't a style. You know, like we really are still black. Like we still struggling. We still, you know, I can't hop. Most of us aren't hopping into, you know what I'm saying, the Maybach to go off anywhere or can have 7, 8, 9 different fucking houses. Like, man, yo, the struggle is fucking real. So, you know, do what you do, you know, be good in the public eye. And put some money in the right places to help some movements that are progressive.
Did y'all check out the lady, Tommy, what's her name? Tommy, her comment? Yeah, is that Lauren?
Yeah.
Tommy Lauren, her comments. It's not the same one who said the 14 years your husband was
it's a drug dealer. Yeah.
She has to have something.
That was
that was Tommy Lauren. Yeah.
I thought it was Megan. what's the other?
No, that was Tommy Lauren on Drug Deals Anonymous.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because she makes it the point that
that's got hip hop up. Lil Baby ain't fucking talking about that. Fuck out of here.
Listen.
That was you know what I'm saying? You over here struggling. You over here fucking struggling with goddamn going Jay-Z and Pusha T, and you know what I'm saying? You know every verse of Lil Baby album.
First of all, I don't know every Lil Baby verse.
You might as well.
And first of all, I know more Pusha and Lil than you do.
What happened?
You think you do.
I'm glad Megan is between us right now. Carry over
the topic. Go ahead.
What happened?
Because he don't know when to shut the fuck up.
Carry on.
Well, besides that.
Because she actually had to go back to, just like I said something earlier about the fact that Cool quoted Lil Baby last week, right? So I said, yo, when it comes to Lil Baby, I'll be out here by myself, but Cool be quoting them, and Cool don't be riding with me, right? That's how it all started. So this is some shit that happened before everybody became on, when it was just me, Cool, Juice, and Terrell Dash Morel over there. I'm glad Megan's in between us, because I need some motherfucking space. If nothing else. And you didn't have to fucking go
Carry
there.
on the podcast, man.
Fuck that. I'm here now. All right. Now I'm ready to go to the next shit. I have one more thing for y'all. Halftime show. The last thing on how y'all feel about that? I didn't really watch it, but John enjoy it.
Yeah. I was getting like water at the time. I don't know.
For 20 minutes? Listen, the whole shit that had me though was I was sitting there, me and my father-in-law. So I said, "Yo, nigga, she better not sing Jenny from the Block." That's the first shit she came out with. Jenny from the Block. You ain't been to the Block in 30 years, shorty. She's supposed
to abort Ja Rule out.
Right.
Where's
Ja Rule?
I'm curious what the real Megan D has to say about this. Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really wasn't into the Super Bowl yesterday. I wasn't really. My best friend's birthday always falls Super Bowl weekend, so we always do something, you know. But my team wasn't playing. I wasn't really super excited about anybody. I mean, the halftime show was cool. Honestly, I wasn't. It just didn't move me too much.
That shit was trash.
And listen, I'm tired of them. Listen, Jennifer Lopez ain't as thick as she was when she did Selena.
Somebody else said that. And you know what I must say? I'm tired. I'm surprised she didn't wear it yesterday, but I'm tired of that green dress. If she wears that green dress one more time, I swear. I'm like, girl, retire it. We get it.
Do we still live in a world with all these thick ass Instagram models, or we think J-Lo's body is actually good, nigga? What the fuck?
No. It ain't nothing wrong with it, especially to be her age. She in good shape. She look good for her age.
She's rich, yo.
Her
you see the Kardashians before they got rich? You're not ugly, you're just poor. Like that's like the thing, right? You know what I'm saying?
But I will say this: J-Lo was always fine. Even back when she was a fly girl, she
That's a
was
fact.
always, she always was, fine. But when you look at, of course, like you can't compare like a 50-something-year-old J-Lo to a 20-something-year-old Megan Thee Stallion. Like, I mean, there's just no comparison. Like
I love
somebody
Megan Thee
said,
Stallion.
Definitely can't
J-Lo
do that.
looks good for her age. And back in the day, she looked good for the age that she was then,
Big
But
fact.
I
Right.
think like the standard for thickness or whatever, I think she was just one of the first in like the 90s or whatever, one of the first mainstream, whether it was Latina or light skin or whatever, women of color to really be, people look at her like, ooh, look at her booty, like, and it just kind of became a thing. But I mean, her ass was never like, out of this world, but it was, bigger than you would probably normally see, because back in that time there was some, a lot of people, not getting into Luke and all of that kind of shit, but it having a big ass, like people would cover it up more than they do now, if that makes sense,
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have a
Luke.
problem with it. I don't have a problem
Speaking,
with it.
do y'all want to talk about Megan Thee Stallion and her latest scenario in the last 24 hours?
And G-Eazy.
Yeah.
Nope.
I know nothing what
Nah.
y'all talking about, so
Live
somebody
that
educate me.
All right, we ain't got
Pass,
She
pass.
she living her life.
Yeah, I don't think that joint.
Right.
I don't think it go that deep.
I don't know. We just brought it
Yeah.
up, so I ain't know if that's what y'all want to talk about.
She's sexy though. I am gonna say that.
Yes,
Who,
Lord.
Megan?
Amen.
Oh yeah,
Amen.
man.
Yo,
Amen.
She
Hey,
is.
dog.
cool.
She is.
It's something about
Megan
it.
is.
Yo, dog.
Like,
I still take
Pepsi and Newport sexy, but she says.
Cash doll though, dog. I'm sorry, dog. I like cash doll
Oh
better.
yeah,
man.
yeah. That joint, she tough,
I like Doja Cat too.
bruh. Juice,
Hey,
You see his
I
eyes?
like-
We just crossed out of just now,
son.
bruh.
hey.
On everything I
George.
love, cuz.
On the
George.
block.
Completely washed.
On the
I
block.
don't know.
Check.
Jordan
None of
be
these
feeling me.
On
Doja Cat, hey,
everything.
dog.
Cat,
Hey,
you think,
listen,
Megan?
bro.
Juice. Come
Hey,
like
what's up?
seriously, bro.
Hey, look, no pull out. I'm not putting
Yeah.
I'm
Y'all
just dropping
tripping.
it in.
No
Do I
pull
need
out.
to exit this conversation?
No,
and
no,
then,
no,
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 you
no,
good?
no,
I don't know.
Hey, what's up?
This
No,
got a little too explicit.
sorry.
You can handle
Next
it.
topic. Neve, next topic, Neve.
She know
Speaking
what
of
the
rap,
FB
though,
is.
Neve. Speaking of rap, we got to stick, you know what I'm saying? I think we have a topic that we're burning
one?
to kind of get into.
But the
The
puffin.
Diddy and Mace,
All
yeah.
right, let me break it down a little bit
Set
for
it
those
up.
who don't
Set it
know.
up. Set it
Real
up.
had
All
it.
right,
Real
so
got a full
basically,
clip.
Man. I might
So
have to get
basically-
the regular chair, you know what I'm saying? Pull a knee. You know what I'm saying?
Your shit ain't as sharp as mine
I
though.
gave what?
It's not as
Anyway,
sharp as
go
mine.
ahead,
That
you're
shit
right.
looks
Go ahead.
sussy.
We got
Set it
company.
up. Set it up.
Yeah, we got company.
All right. She good. You good, right, Megan?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Look, I'm looking at myself fixing my head wrap. I was like, look.
All right. So Puff made a speech at the Rock Nation brunch, basically talking about black people and empowering ourselves. I
Was
guess.
it a Grammy speech too, or was it these 3
Yes.
seconds? Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Well,
All right.
somebody tell me that I'm wrong then. I thought
No,
it was.
I thought it was
no.
the Clive. I thought it was the
They're
Clive
in
Davis
tandem.
speech.
They're in tandem.
Go ahead, Juice. You know more about it. Go ahead.
Okay, now I'm just gonna give a overview, and if you guys have more specific details, please hop in. But basically, he does have a brunch. He talks about them acquiring success. That's like a pre.
He was at the Rock Nation brunch. That's Jay-Z brunch.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So then it gets around to, I think, another speech that goes viral is him at the Grammys talking about, basically how they have to acknowledge them, they have to acknowledge their work, things like that. But I mean, overall, Puff has been on a Black empowerment campaign, ownership. He's been talking about it a lot. And as of late, he's been more explicit about it and how he feels and standing up for the people. So Mace takes it to Instagram and say, hey, I appreciate everything you're doing. I think this is dope. I think that's great. I waited to this point to tell you when I didn't need this, to bring this up, but hey, when can I be empowered? When can I get my master's? You you gave me 20 grand for something that you've been continuously getting paid off of. You knew at the time, for young artists that really probably wasn't the best model. And even if it was the model back then, it's changed. So, I'll give you $2 million. I offered you $2 million, and you still said no. Still said he couldn't have his rights, publishing. That I don't know the specifics of the deal, but couldn't have it.
Well,
and
he did say Mace said that he said until you can pay me what the white man pays me.
The white man offered me.
I was like, well, damn.
Go ahead, Juice.
So how you talking all this black power? No, what actually happened was Meek posted something, and under Meek post, he left a long paragraph talking about how you talking this and you're not living what you're talking, basically, because I came and if you gave me 20,000 for it and I'm offering you 2 million for it, that should be. Listen, Puff is damn near a billionaire. You can't tell me that Mace money is like, oh my God, my empire's done now if I give from his publishing. You can't tell me that. So to me, when I hear it, it feel like it's something deeper than that. It's something that lingers.
It's not. It reverts back to what Jordan was just talking about the greed. It's not. Why does it have to be something deeper than that, right? That's like us rationalizing saying that all these black people are successful because of the Illuminati, right? Like greed is a motherfucker, and it hurt me when Juice was like, it's just the music business. Well, that don't make it right. Like, yo, just because, you know what I'm saying? That's like we say, well, it was just slavery. You know what I'm saying? It was just slave business. That didn't make it right. That's the same thing, right? And we always hide under this guise of, well, that's just the way it was. And that's what happened to me, so I'm going to jerk you the same way. If somebody gives you $20,000 and then they turn around and offer you $2 million, what else is there other than the fact that you want to keep eating off his publishing because you convinced a 19-year-old to sign a bad deal? Congratulations, right. Buffy, you jerked the young boy, right? And then you sit up there at age 50 and act holier than thou and say, you know what I'm saying, y'all signing deals for real? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to empower people. Well, empower Mace. How much money has Mace made in your $1 billion for you?
Right. Easily $150 million.
But like you said, I'm not.
It's more.
I'm your number one artist. First of all, you wouldn't have had the career you had without my pen. Because I played a big part in your personal living career. Artist.
So,
right.
And that also kind of brings me back to what I think it was Jordan who said about it being immoral to be a billionaire. You know, that doesn't mean that you're necessarily a bad person. You could be a billionaire and you could give millions to charity. You know, but on the back end, when you look at the numbers, you having that much money, you know, in comparison to the balance of the rest of the world and the economy, it doesn't make sense, you know, and it's immoral. And that, like you said, sometimes it's not always something deeper. It really is just, you know, a thirst for power and greed, and you knowing that you can have this much power over somebody and, well, no, this belongs to me now, you know. So I think that when it comes down to somebody who, in my opinion, is as narcissistic as Diddy is, that's exactly what it is.
And we talking about a deal where as though he signed it at 19 and he can't get it back till he's 50. We talking about 31 years, bro.
Yeah.
And people talk about that being the music industry, but like you said, that doesn't make it right. You know, I know it's not the music industry. I'm sure it's also Hollywood and stuff like that, but that doesn't make it right. And there needs to be more avenues for these young artists and for people, you know, there needs to be some kind of mediums for people to be more aware of the things that they're signing and their contracts and their rights and the things that they're getting themselves into.
That's a good, excellent point. My understanding of one of the ideas behind Jay-Z and the whole Rock Nation, especially the sports management component, was that some of these contracts and some of these agents weren't really benefiting some of these young players, and that they part of what they wanted to bake into that management component from a Rock Nation was financial literacy and things, how to do with your money. So if you stake the claim that I'm in your pocket in a way just because that's how these other folks be in people's pockets, that's horrible. For you to then sit on a podium or sit on a high horse or sit on some kind of mountaintop and profess black excellence and all of this kind of stuff, this, that, and third. It's something you could work out. There's no way that Mace's publishing, still being controlled by Diddy, should have gone and been made public. There's no way that these dudes start, continue to scream the same thing, and somehow Diddy has escaped some of these things. I'm not condemning the man for the Locks coined him as a paper gangster. I don't know if it was Jadakiss or Styles. I forget which one, but talked about Diddy being a paper gangster. He know those contracts. He know how to write them up. I can't condemn Diddy for having good business practices when it comes to contracts and understanding what paperwork and the legalities and all. But by the same token, he absolutely can benefit or at least allow Mace to eat off his own intellectual property in a way that he's never been able to do, apparently,
Exactly.
if this thing is true, since he, like you said, is not coerced or had a contract in front of a hungry 19-year-old, like, here we go, let's rock. Yeah, it costs money to break an artist, but come on, it like one hand don't wash. I mean, one hand absolutely washes the other, right? Mace, for no matter what you think about him, has a catalog, right, that allows money to be generated off of it, and he should be able to, eat off of that money that he generates in some different kind of way.
That's a good point that you made about his business knowledge, because I'm like, it's one thing to be aware of your strengths and the power that you have, but what matters is how you use them, and nobody's taking it away from, like, he's a great businessman. He could be, smart, and he could be a genius, but what he does with that and how he treats people and how he treats his employees and the people that he signed and the influence that he makes is really what matters.
And
Right.
in the same token,
but is jerking somebody just great business?
Well,
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like when Leo Cohen left rock and roll and went to hip hop, because now you see that this is the new cool thing that people are getting paid from. We don't
Right.
pride him for being a great businessman. All of this shit come from slave money. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you talk about 60% of the wealth in the country comes from slave money, then who started their own shit besides fucking Bill Gates and goddamn Steve Jobs? Like what else? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, I wouldn't call that good business practice, yo. You
okay,
hurt
so
somebody and
Well, it's taught.
your
Well, you
benefit.
gotta think the background in regards to who Puffy came up under. Like, he from that Clive Davis,
The white man who was jerking people. So here we go. That's my point. Like, we're condoning the jerk because we're now hiding it under the guise of it being good business.
So here, but here's the thing. Here's where it get layered. So when I said it's business, I got a lot that I could put behind that. One, let me say this first off. It's a tragedy to do this to any artist. It's a tragedy of how many artists have been in this situation. I think Tribe Called Quest, was it?
De La Soul.
De La Soul.
No, Tribe had issues.
Tribe had issues too. You're right.
De La Soul still got issues.
De La Soul still got it. I mean, there's
Prince,
always
Slave.
been horrors of the record industry. So
TLC.
What we have to understand,
it be your own people, Megan.
Yeah, the way the industry worked back then, it was different. It doesn't work that way today. It's not the same. And it's not to say that it was good business. It never was good business, but it is just what it is. Some artists found ways, though, in how to take lemons make lemonade. They
No,
found
they
ways
didn't,
to.
Juice. They just got involved before the 360 deal was even a thing. Because that was it. Like, oh shit.
Right.
You're
But
not
Mace
gonna goddamn do
signed.
this. You're gonna come out
Mace
with
signed
shoes,
before that.
come out with t-shirts and liquor. 360
Mace
deal. We want a piece of anything you do.
Mace signed a deal before that. So what I'm saying is,
Correct.
there were artists like him that came up that just, made the best, and for whatever reason he wasn't able to. I think it's shitty that, a lot of artists hadn't got paid. There's a lot of Motown artists that hadn't got paid. Here's the issue with Diddy though. Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. I don't think it's not about whether it was right or wrong. It's about what your stance is today. And your stance today is about empowering people and making the changes, because now we don't have to follow archaic standards. Yeah. So actually, by that alone, he's kind of, he's really
hypocritical.
He's very hypocritical.
Right. The real
he
Diddy
needs
is
to make a change.
Mace, right?
But
The
here's
fake
the
Diddy
thing,
was the
though.
one who did the video.
So you can feel that way now, and I'm all for growth and all that. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. But it's one thing to say, I can't do anything about the past. But if you still have things that are going on right now that you can do something about, it's hypocritical to get up there and say something like that and not say, okay, I'm going to fix this because of what happened in my past, instead of just brushing things under the rug and walking around like, go black. You know what I'm saying?
And also,
if we're to believe, if we're to believe Mace too, like it's like they had recent dialogue with Diddy, like fuck you and that 2 million,
right?
Fuck you and that 2 million. It's not enough, right?
Right.
So,
look. It was some
like,
the white man, when that European man, when you pay me what he offered me for your publishing, aka trading your slave rights. You know what I'm saying? Let's call a spade what it is.
It was some recency. It was some recency in that retort. Like it was like, yo, we've been going through this. Yeah, like.
But why do we forget that? Listen, y'all, Diddy ain't never had no track record of being a great fucking businessman in terms of his artists. He's never.
I will say,
I don't know
before we
still owe Biggie's mama money.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what his daughter went on him on Twitter before. He had to call her.
Biggie's daughter
recently,
years
ago.
Like a couple years ago, he had to call on the phone, like chill. But before we burn him down, I will say this: like, I think that the overall transparency of it was polarizing, because these same deals pretty much. I mean, and Juice, you probably can attest to this more than I can, but these same deals are still pretty much existing. They not necessarily the 360 deal, but they're similar to it. Fucking Kevin Lyles and all of those other executives who aren't as prolific of a presence as Diddy.
Now, yo, it's much worse.
But I'm saying it's like nobody gonna
that you account for, right?
But hold on, Ralph. But nobody gonna air Clive Davis out, right? Nobody gonna air him out. You know what I'm saying? With Diddy has a platform. He has a presence where, a motherfucker can at him on Twitter and everybody gonna see it, or at him on Instagram, everybody gonna see it. So it makes him look shitty for which he should be. Yeah, absolutely. I ain't saying
like, listen,
what I'm saying is like, no. He the boss. There's no other, like when the Clips was going through their shit, they couldn't air nobody. They couldn't air Jimmy Iovine out. They couldn't fucking go to the top of the label and say no shit. Like, Khalees mad. What's the other shit? Khalees mad at Pharrell and Neptunes because that deal being fucked up. But I'm like, them niggas wasn't executives. They just had the name on the label.
No, first of all, not only did he do his career, he had a major pen and Puff career. So that gotta be considered. In the same token, dog, why can't you be the one to change how things is getting done?
Right.
You know what I mean? You lead and everything else. You run the marathons. You're a leader, right?
Plus, Clive Davis can't be talking about no motherfucking black excellence.
Right. That's that too. What
you
can't pull a black excellence card if you're not practicing black excellence. Like we looked at Jay-Z sideways. I'm rock with Hov since '96. But I looked at him sideways for the NFL deal because something was a little funny to me. I'm allowed that latitude. Diddy something a little funny when everybody say your artists say they ain't paying you right. You really second on the list of fucking Birdman in them. If we keeping it funky, so like
who never had no shit.
Wait a minute, at a time where everybody should be allowed to grow, it would show growth if you let niggas eat off of their publishing deal.
Yeah.
Period.
Y'all want the truth, man.
And take care of their families. That's what he said.
Yeah.
You know who rang true and held to that shit? So from what I know, and I ain't never heard no kickback on it, Master P. Master P.
Let me tell you, Master P is one of the most underrated businessmen who don't get enough credit.
Yo, Snoop kept that shit a buck. He said, dog, I ain't had no problems getting out of that deal. I ain't had no problems getting into the deal. Like, Snoop got paid off them records.
Oh yeah, like, P took care of niggas. P took care of niggas.
Yeah. He bought that Death Row deal out.
How many people you know have ever really had like bad things to say about Master P? Like nobody.
Yeah.
P bought Snoop out of that fucking Death Row deal. Straight cash.
Look, man.
And gave him all his masters and everything.
The industry is what it is, bro. Niggas be fake. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's fast talking niggas coming in the room, promising the world. You know, it's a lot of niggas, you know, smoking mirrors with this shit, bro. A nigga get on stage and tell you whatever because he got the platform don't mean he really bought that life, you know? And so at the end of the day, we've been knowing the nigga was shady. We've been knowing that the nigga didn't do great business deals. I'm going to go ahead and say it, Dame Dash. We've been, like, all them niggas shaky. They could say all that shit what they do for the culture, but when it came down to money and paying niggas, everybody has a story about them and how they've done, you know, some sort of business. I haven't really heard terrible things about Jay and how he deals with artists or people that's subordinate. Now, as far as just other businessmen, you know, the guys that complain about him. But, you know, the game is just funny, man. It's just what it is. You know, everybody's getting fucked. Even when you streaming records, you know what I'm saying? You got people over here streaming hundreds and thousands of streams, you know what I'm saying? And you getting you getting pennies, percentages of pennies on the motherfucking dollar. So, you know, you got a guy like Diddy, he's just a great talker. He's a great motivational speaker and all that shit like that. But when we start talking backroom shit, industry shit, I've never heard much good about him. And I'm not going to let motherfucking Instagram, you know, it's no disrespect to Diddy, you know, because shit, one day I got to cross those paths, you know, that I would love to. But, you know, so I don't never want to have bites come up with me saying shit without context, you know? For real, because you know it's going to happen.
I respect that.
Especially in this day and age.
But that's culture. But it don't mean they can be, they're not infallible.
But I've never heard things about him.
Somebody got to step up and be the one to say, you know what, this is how y'all been doing it. I'm not going to be that way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And if you're a leader, like he comes off to be, and why not you?
Be the one.
All I hear is positive stuff coming out of Rock Nation and what they doing, even as far as artists and the deals they giving out. All I hear is positive.
It's still very small on a very small scale when you're talking about the volume of money that flows to this business, right? We can all sit here right now in 6 individual people in 6 different places right now, and none of us would have the same answer for how much a stream is worth, right? And why is my song worth different amounts on different platforms when I used to go to Best Buy and buy a $10 CD, I used to go to Target and buy a $10 CD, I used to go to, you know what I'm saying, Sam Goodies and buy a $10 CD, and it was still my same music, right? So here's something for y'all. So we went from slavery to goddamn segregation, right? You went from the music industry to now streaming, right? Though no black people own nothing other than Hove with Tidal, right? The rest of the shit is literally owned, and we watch motherfucking Leo Cohen carry his ass off a record label and go to YouTube. I wonder why that is. Right?
He sold Tidal.
A new way to jerk these niggas.
Hove sold Tidal.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
I have over 100,000 streams, yet I don't have $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I think they said that shit.
How many of those white boys help you write your song, Juice?
No.
I mean,
how many of them help you become a creative?
I got two. Now I got Decaf and Brady Watt that I work with, but as far as like most of the music,
you talking about from the streaming?
Oh yeah,
you talking about on the streaming service?
I'm not talking about. I'm not anti.
They're my niggas. Hey, they're my niggas.
That's not what
they're
I'm
my
saying.
niggas. But listen,
not the white boys that really help you create.
Nothing. Nobody. Like nothing. It was like weird even when I went out to Cali. You know what I'm saying? And I seen someone I never met before. And we were talking about like, man, yo, you did this record with these niggas before they did this. And I'm like, wow, like that's dope. But, you know, to have shit streaming and going certain places and you don't really see the benefit of it, that sucks, bro. Like it's weird. It's a weird situation, you know.
People making a lot of money off your artistry.
Yeah.
Lots of it. It's sad.
I don't want to be rude, but I'm gonna have to leave soon.
Oh, that's not rude.
Nah, that's not rude.
That's not rude at all.
Definitely happens. We've enjoyed your time on it, Megan.
Absolutely. I would love to come back again.
You're always welcome.
You know, Megan an all-star at this pod thing, you know what I'm saying?
Shit get a little quiet when I leave, boy. God damn, I can't even leave over 35 seconds. God damn.
Nah, the sister was leaving, bro.
I know, I heard her.
No, I like to run my mouth on interesting things. So whenever y'all, absolutely, man, anytime, no doubt.
We'll figure it out. So you leaving right this second?
Yeah.
Because
probably.
you did want to talk about Terry Crews, I thought.
That nigga's trash.
Go ahead and cook that up before you go. Go ahead.
Line them up.
Then he's gonna issue like that half-ass apology and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, the things that he was saying was just really like, who says that? You know, like him tweeting talking about I only have to please my whatever his wife's name is, not my daughter, not my child. I'm like, nobody even asked for any of that. Like, what are you talking about? You know, it would have been just fine if he would just not have said anything at all. Just they asked him about it and he could have literally said, I haven't experienced that, and left it just as that. But no, not at all. He just had to keep on going and just keep digging himself into a deeper hole. And what kills me is that when he came out, like everybody said, with all that sexual assault stuff and a man who touched him the wrong way, and you know, all of the women that came to his defense, or all of it's the same ones that he's, you know, bashing out, and it's crazy. Gabrielle Union was the first one to come to his defense, you know, while all these other people talking about, you know, him and why he didn't say anything and why he didn't, you know, charge the man up and all this other kind of shit. And now he's just flipping it and it's just basically, you know, devaluing Gabrielle Union's experience because it wasn't something that he experienced. You could have literally just stopped at your experience and left it at that. And then he kept tweeting and kept talking and it's like, you know, so no, he's trash. He can stay where he's at. He can keep his apologies. And yeah.
Like, yo, my twist is this, right? Megan, you going? You can go ahead whenever you want to zoom.
No, I'm listening.
Okay, now my thing is this with main man, like the whole thing about your wife. Like, we learned that when you get married, your wife is number one. She comes before your mom, the kids, and all that. That's what the Bible say, right? I ain't the most sharpest at the Bible, but I'm pretty sure that's what the Bible say. That don't mean it's fuck everybody else and it's just about my wife. That's two different things. You know what I'm saying? My even if my daughters get husbands, you know, the older women in my family, my sisters, they're still a part of my concern. I understand that my wife is number one and everything else comes after that. But that right there is just weird to me. And then it's like when you volunteer, I hate a motherfucker who just voluntarily just gives me bullshit. Like, ain't nobody ask you, dog, how do you feel? Right, like when you just I hate a motherfucker who just tell me some shit that you ain't have to tell me that, cuz you could have really kept that to yourself. That shit is the worst thing in the world to me.
Well, I'm about to dip out, y'all, but
I get with you,
It
Megan.
was a pleasure.
We appreciate
it, Megan.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Drew, again.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, Megan.
All right, y'all.
We about to get loose. It's the witching hour. All right, Megan.
Have
a good one. Thank you for coming on
right,
today. We appreciate you.
Ain't no sex. Hey, no.
Whoa.
No, Jordan, no.
This guy's out of control. Listen,
Hey,
I'm glad we
man.
partnered.
Terry, my thing with Terry, I don't care because I think when he was parading around for the shit that people wanted him to parade around for, motherfuckers was clapping it up. Now that he done said some shit that, that the sister don't like, and now all the black women ain't got on his ass, now he ain't shit. Nah, fuck it, because, when he's talking the talk that the feminists want him to talk, it's okay. And I feel like now, I can't lie to you. I don't fuck with him. I think everything he do is on some hoe shit. I think he's a hoe ass nigga. I'm just gonna be honest with
you. At 2, how tall is he?
Whoa.
He about 6'2", 6'3", 250.
Shit.
He played defensive end.
Why is another man touching your booty like it's okay?
I'm off that shit. Fuck
like,
that shit.
come on, cuz. That right there was something for me. Then the black women held you down and supported you. And the first chance you get, you back under the white man ass, kissing the white man ass, trying to
I
get your
never
job
experienced
secured.
anything. Man, shut your big old
listen,
fucking, get your ass out.
Let me tell you about him.
It's the best place I ever worked for.
About him.
Damn, yo.
When did
me and my wife
become a thing?
Me and my wife watched this.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Me and my wife watched this show called Love Is. I think it's called Love Is. So they be having the black couples on there talking about certain scenarios. It'd be a couple seasons. One episode would be about
Black
certain
Love?
stuff. Yeah, I think it's called Black Love. What I called it before.
Yeah.
Did I say Black Love?
Yeah, Black Love chills. I like that joint.
Right. But he was on it with his wife. So he got caught up in some shit, some infidelity. He been trying to make up for that shit for the last, nigga cheated like 20 years ago. He's still trying to make up for that shit. And she still beating him the fuck up for it. Because you can tell 20 years later, you know how that shit, when they brought it up, she just was really still like, she went back to that place. Yeah. Like, and she's still beating him the fuck up. That's why he making these nut-ass comments he making. Right. Oh, yeah, my wife number one, fuck everybody else. Because you trying to get back from the
Yo ain't learned yet.
No, my whole twist, if you gonna let it, listen.
He still think happy wife's happy life.
This nigga, I knew Cool was coming, yo. I knew Cool was coming when he said facts. I knew he was coming when he said facts.
Yo, 20 years ago, though? 20 years ago, he cheated. Y'all done had new babies and everything.
He Terry Crews.
And listen, and the whole thing with, they didn't ever say was cheating. Whatever he did, he never spoke exactly what it was, though.
Who? Terry Crews?
But Terry Crews and his wife early on.
Come on, bro.
He was famous.
Hold on.
He's cooking.
Come on, bro.
No, I'm gonna tell you some shit. I think it might have been some shit where though it was in the porno. I know some porno addiction, and she had him feeling like he was cheating because he was addicted to porn.
Was it
you think it was some gay shit?
I'm not sure.
Probably so.
But they did speak
on it.
It
gotta be, yo. It's been a long time since I've been with a woman who has not realized I'm addicted to porn. like,
yo, porn is not cheating, yo.
Yo, I used to be made to feel that way, but
it's boring. Hey, I don't know.
I left that bitch.
What was the last one you said, Juice?
Tasty Blacks.
Tasty Blacks? I ain't never heard of
it.
Yo, that shit. Hey, yo, Juice know. That's the T right there, boy.
Hey, dog. Nigga, yeah, dog. You get that. Hey.
Turn the dimmer on your iPad down a little bit, bro.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, hey, it's going down.
Yo.
So he's literally taking notes.
Oh, you can see me still? Yo, chill out. Hey, we too far on the podcast anyway.
I got that shit bookmarked.
Right.
Tasty Blacks.
Chill out.
Yeah, nigga.
Is it TAS?
Is that tasty? Right.
TASTY.
I'm about to say, is it IE?
Tasty Blacks.
Is it BLAXX? No, that's right.
It's BLACKS.
Oh no, I'm hit.
Okay,
yeah. I'm hit.
Look, y'all silly, yo. Look, I thought the same thing. Tasty with a Y or
seriously. Oh,
hey man, but listen, bro, that nigga just be on some bullshit. And you know, Gabrielle though, should I go there?
Right.
Should I go there? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's just another way to show you when you band together for the white man's cause, they won't band together for your nigga ass. Now, y'all get in line for the other causes, but nobody gets in the line for your cause, black woman. I've told you.
Ain't Gabrielle like the white girl a little bit? Like she's the closest thing to still being black and getting the respect, but she was in that white girl cheerleading movie. That right there let me know. Like I don't see nothing truly black about Gabrielle Union, but
she did enough. But you're right. She is on like she like right on.
I think it's come from where she from though. She from Nebraska.
Like I don't mind.
They the only black family. Her family like the only black family in Nebraska.
In the whole state.
That's what she said. She said that they one of like the only families out the whole fucking state.
That's probably true though. It's probably not that many black people, bro.
Yeah,
at all.
I worked in Omaha for 30 days. I ain't see a black person. I saw 2 black people.
At least she didn't confuse Kansas City, Missouri for Kansas City, Kansas.
This nigga, man.
That's all
that shit right there. No.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm good.
You're the president of the United States. No.
What that mean?
What you say, bro? What you say?
It doesn't mean be aware of all football teams.
No, nigga, no. He wasn't. Bro, hold up. Time out, Neef. I got him. Neef, I got him.
It's a Kansas City, Kansas?
Yes, nigga, they talk about the bridge. And there's literally a bridge that separates it.
It's like 10 miles away.
I'm not the president.
No.
I'm not the president.
You see that? That's not a requirement to be president. Right? There is no geography test.
It should be.
It's not.
Right.
The fuck?
You don't have to know every state flag. You don't like. No, that's not a thing.
No,
only reason I think he should know is because his ass wanted to buy a team and they wouldn't let him in. He ain't have enough money.
The whole twist is you spoke on it. Ain't nobody asked you what it was and you misspoke. You voluntarily said some dumb shit.
That too. It's not like they was like, "Where's Kansas City from?"
Right.
A little fast with it, right?
Kansas City, Kansas fans or Kansas City, Missouri Chiefs fans.
You Republican,
Kushner
That's fine
should have
too.
took his phone.
Hey, I was gonna say that. I was talking about that. If I was like, if I'm not mistaken, there is still a Kansas City, Kansas.
It is.
Kansas City,
it is.
Missouri, and they still root for the same team. So I was like, you know what? On that, it's like,
He's just a goofy.
He's goofy, but he isn't necessarily.
The only thing he got wrong is that their stadium is on the Missouri side, and not on the Kansas side.
Also true, very true.
That's the only thing he got wrong.
Arrowhead is definitely in Missouri.
And the Democrats are doing a terrible job trying to close this thing out in the impeachment trial. Y'all are
what
fucking
Democrats?
Bro, we don't got a chance. Bro, they don't got a chance in hell, bro.
God damn! You know what I just called?
I'd be glad we get reelected in November.
Just get it over with, bro. Just get it over with.
Dog, they're trying to impeach him on grounds for newly trying to cheat because they can't necessarily get him for the old cheating because he wasn't president. So this is going nowhere. This is fucking retarded.
They dug their heels on this shit and now they run it. They don't have no traction and it just looks stupid. Don't have no traction. They I gotta choose between old ass Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, and then we got Mike fucking Bloomberg coming in flanking with all his money.
Is Mike Bloomberg running Indy?
Yes.
Nah, he running Democrat. I looked up. I looked it up last night.
He going Democrat,
bro. Yeah.
How is he a part of?
They changed the rules for this nigga.
Yo, hey, bro.
Did he call Trump the demigod in his commercial?
Yo, ain't the primaries?
What?
Like
2
3
months?
days away.
Yeah.
Hold up, when are the primaries?
Nigga,
We've been saying like 2 years ago they late.
Did we say that?
I didn't even know you could do no shit like what he doing, bro. But he got $59 billion, nigga. He can do what he want to do.
Bro. I was about to say he got. I don't understand why he running as a Democrat anyway. He got $59 billion.
Can't lie though, man. I think he gonna get some steam in the end. He might get a little bit of steam. Yeah.
All the money he about to spend.
Yeah, he gonna get some steam.
Well, you know personally, I feel like he was funding. I feel like he was the bankroll for Kamala Harris, and when she wasn't getting the traction that they thought she was, that's when they decided to pull out. Because she ran out of money too soon, in my opinion.
Kamala the type of chick that you like knock
I wasn't
off
gonna
every
vote for
once
her.
in a while. Like I probably like fuck every once in a while, but I wouldn't want to be around all the time because I
Yo,
feel like she.
I don't know
we
why. I
get
don't know
here?
how he got there. I
No,
don't know how
cause
he
she
got
just
there.
give me, she give me good vibes. Like I fuck with her, but it's like, hey,
She's a
bitch, I'm gonna
cop.
see you. Yeah, like I'm gonna see you this weekend, but next weekend, I don't really, you know what I'm saying?
No, you
This
promise her
nigga
next
juice.
weekend, then change up after you see her this
Yeah,
weekend.
Y'all niggas wild.
yeah,
No, man, I was, but
yeah, you know,
Y'all
can't
kind
niggas
of
make it
want to
out
wild.
make,
there.
this black activist rally that I know you don't want to go to.
Hey, yo, what about this Tyler the Creator Grammy speech where he's been
Right.
saying what everybody's been really thinking about the whole how they just put everybody in the category, and he feel like his album wasn't a rap album. So like, how y'all feel about that?
Fair.
It was on
I
point.
think it was his point was on point, but it's a stretch for him to say his album wasn't a rap album. There are like 10 rappers on there.
Right, but he had, I think they said like 5 songs was like rap songs. Other drinks he was like basically singing on them.
Yeah.
Because what Tyler is saying is that why isn't music that he's making being considered pop music when it actually is, and it's not even being considered along other pop records, only because he's exclusively black. Like that's just really what it is. It's like,
yeah.
And that's what he's trying to say is, okay, they gave me best rap album, but in all honesty, look at all the shit I did. I dropped a dope record. I charted. You know what I'm saying? I did Apple Music release. Like, I have a white audience. I have an audience that is of different races, but you only put me in the runnings for the fucking hip-hop album, best hip-hop album of the year. Like, no.
Did Earthquake go, was that a number 1 single? I know the album was number 1.
I think it was.
I know the album was number 1.
I think it was the single.
Yeah, I'm saying I ain't know if the single went number 1. I know the album did, because that's when DJ Khaled started having a fucking panic attack.
Yeah. He was spazzing out.
Yeah.
So I mean, I see what he's saying, bro. Like, I get it, because I think he's deserving of a Grammy. I just don't know if it was the best hip hop album of the year.
No, I ain't think it was the best hip hop album of the year.
Is it hard to define what's hip hop now? What would you you could categorize that as pop?
I thought the Freddie Gibbs joint was the best hip hop album. Was it Pinata? Was it? Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man. We dealing with a lot of hybrid shit. We not really dealing with just
everybody's
pure
doing
hip-hop.
right. Nobody's just giving you all rap. I mean,
that's
some
why
guys doing that.
That's why I said, yo, like rappity rap. The Pinata was fucking flames. Like
shit, can't you? You can almost call Lizzo shit. Don't she be rapping a little bit too? Like you could, if you wanted to, right?
Who?
I'm just saying, Lizzo.
Who?
I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that she.
What Soulja Boy say? Drake.
I'm not saying she's a winner or anything, but what I'm saying is, if you gotta look, they said he barely rapped on the album. I didn't listen to it, but what I've heard, he's barely rapped on the album. So anybody who, if there's any rap on it, it seems like it can be put in that category. If it's a couple songs, it's like
I think if so, you figure if you do 12 joints and 5 of them is rap songs, I mean, is it a half an album or like that's I think that's
okay.
more enough to qualify as both.
What's a Drake album? Is a Drake album a rap album or what is it?
They're gonna call because them niggas
Drake
known as rappers.
Drake can rap.
Yeah, Drake can
I'm
rap.
not saying we're not questioning that though, but
I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah, they're gonna call it rap. They're gonna call it rap.
Like I think if Scorpion was 2 different joints and he dropped side B, that's an R&B album.
And the one could be it's just like it's a lot of gray. It seemed like not giving the Grammys a way out, but
I think ultimately what he was trying to say was that you like that art form of hip hop is, you know, in essence is so broad and there's so many ways to like present that to everybody's palate. Like to just ultimately call it hip hop is not giving credit to how much work these guys put into making like overall just good solid bodies of work. And I think that seemed like his overall point was like, yeah, it's some rapping shit on there, but there's also some shit where like, you know, we singing, like Neef said, niggas singing and all that. But I think ultimately his point was like, don't just like they don't put fucking Justin Bieber in the box like that. And he'll have rappers on his shit. And I think that's probably more in line of like with the direction he was going in.
Put all these little black kids over here in the hip hop section, so we ain't got to worry about. Oh, they're out the way now. Now we can.
Yeah.
That shit is corny. All right, before we go though, let's talk about this Russell Wilson and Future shit, man. So Russell Wilson sent out a tweet?
No, it was an interview. It was an interview. Somebody asked him.
Okay, go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead.
Shit, let me pull it up. So it was like they asked him about the situation his wife was experiencing with Future. Let me just read it. So it says, due to the stress Future causes Sierra and Future Jr., Wilson said he doesn't want his wife to deal with it. Here's what Wilson had to say during the interview with paparazzi. So it says, I don't like seeing my son and my wife stressing about such a minuscule amount of money. Sierra and her ex constantly argue because he's not consistent and go months without paying. I can provide for my family without his little coins. I'm sure he needs the money. I'm sure he needs the money more than we do. He's got other kids in need. No need for him to overextend himself because we're all set for generations ahead of us.
Yo, mic drop.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Why is this a mic drop? Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
That was just a grown man comment.
I mean, but is it?
Yeah, right. Why did it come up?
It seemed like that. It was, so I guess from what it looks like, it was in passing. And you know how them paparazzi be like asking provocative questions. So it looked like they was asking him some shit to try to provoke him. And he gave him something.
He corny as shit for addressing it.
But you gotta think, bro, he probably get that question a lot.
Right. So you choose today to address it.
So hold on. We let niggas that's not doing what they supposed to be doing slide?
We not worried about niggas who doing what they supposed to be doing when I got $200 million.
Yeah,
I don't check.
exactly.
Yo, bro, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I don't check for nobody else's money because I hold mine down.
And I'm pretty sure he's not. He's worried about that.
He had to address it. That's my point.
As much shit you out here talking, acting like you
doing. So what? He's talking. He's also been talking about being high. You ever seen him high?
Listen.
So what? Everybody knows Future a fraud.
If you're putting my wife through something,
your wife is accepting to go through it because she don't need the money either.
Right. It might be the principle of it.
So you know what happened when you being a principal? You're a sucker. You can principally not go for it. Fuck out of here. That's the same thing. Who nobody does anything on principle when you got $300 million flowing through your front door. I do nothing for principle at that point.
Hey, first off, my wife is not gonna be arguing with that nigga.
For what?
That's another thing.
So if the coin amount is so small, why argue about it on principle?
Because she still wants that.
Let me flip it back.
No,
Juice. No, we're
not doing that.
That's exactly what it sounds like, Juice. That's the
no, it don't. Get the fuck out of here, y'all
don't think so?
Bro,
I mean,
she still want that nigga.
Explain the principle for me. Go ahead, explain the principle for me.
Stop pumping it.
No, I'm saying,
what is there to want?
Explain the principalities for it. So here's Russell Wilson talking about.
Nigga, it's your child. It's your child. You should do for your child.
That means nothing. No, that's not how that works, bro.
What you mean it means nothing?
It means nothing.
Dog, you should still take care of your child regardless.
Peep this out. No, I'm gonna shut it down right here. Do you do less for the kids regardless of what they father do? Or mother?
No. That's neither here nor there, bro.
That's my point.
Because
then would you hop out there and talk about what they're not doing?
No.
There's too many boys out here that's not. Listen, you sit out here.
What? That's my point.
Man.
So what?
No, stop letting these sucker niggas off the hook.
No, but see, it's not his responsibility. Listen, bro. When I get with the lady, right?
That's girly.
And when I get with the lady,
you can put the money. Listen, you can put the money in the bank account.
Yo, that matters none. So why big boy the shit when you had a conversation? That's my point. You sound goofy right now, bro.
So you all right? So this is what you're saying.
Listen to what you're saying. Your principal
he should be
responsible. The same thing that Russell Wilson said. That's my point. Nobody needs his little coins. My family's good for generations. So if that's really the case, then why does it matter? That's my point.
Okay, but yet and still.
No.
So,
So when you say but, you revert everything back that I just said, and it's null and void.
My man, that's still your child. You should want to. You shouldn't be late with your payment.
That's not on you. That's not on you. That's not
on who?
That's not on you. That's not on you.
Who are you talking about?
It's on the father.
Bro, look, if I get with a chick, right? If I get with
you can sound corny going after him for him not wanting to be in your child's life.
He's not going after him. He's saying don't nobody need it.
So then why?
But why talk about it?
The stress. That's my point.
Oh
no! Tell me why your wife is stressing.
Dog, listen.
Listen. No.
I'm not gonna worry about all that.
Stop. No.
You're giving suckers a pass.
I get suckers a pass every day.
Why would the wife stress?
That's my point. What your wife?
Listen, you shouldn't let your wife stress. I understand.
He can't worry about. No, it's nothing that he can control because she want to be stressed. Because she want that dick back.
Come on, man, stop that, dog.
Bro,
stop that.
Listen,
when a nigga listen.
If I get with a chick and she got kids, I'm gonna take the kids in to be my kids.
If I was in that situation, where I'm taking care of the kid, dog. End of the day, I don't need your bread. But the whole twist is, if you out here fronting, stunting like you a fucking bull, and you can't even cut the little check that the quarter point you to pay your kids.
But who cares?
Hey, Neef, I was with you. I was with you at first, but with how they putting it, it kind of makes sense. It's
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But at the end of the day, dog,
that nigga like he perm his.
You're still letting the motherfucker off the hook, bro. Listen, do that man not got responsibility?
We not fucking with Future because of that. We don't fuck with Future if he don't take care of his kids either. And as a matter of fact, I'd rather be corny than a nigga that don't take care of his kids. Let's put it out there. But he been patty patty too.
That's my twist. My twist is only that. My twist is the fact that a man who decided to have 10 kids can't even cut the check for his fucking kids. That's it. It ain't about what I got. Listen. If my daughter mom was with Russell Wilson and I was set to pay whatever, I'm still going to pay with I'm not going to say, you know what? He got this amount of money, so I shouldn't have to pay nothing.
Yeah, I ain't even peeled.
That's where I'm at with it.
No, hold on,
But right, but there you go speaking for sucker shit. That's my point.
I ain't even peeled back all the layers at first because I'm
not speaking for sucker shit. A man should be a man and handle responsibilities, regardless of what the other man got, bro.
And the men that aren't, what do you do about those?
Hold on,
they suckers.
Right, so why
no, the fact of the matter is, it's too many. It's too many suckers that y'all turn the other cheek. No, it's crazy. No. This hold on, because we come up on this shit where it's though, if a nigga snitch, no, I don't want to be around him. I want him to do with him. But a nigga cannot take care of his kids, and you still chilling with the motherfucker, dog.
That's
these
her.
Gotta be.
But no.
Her.
So hold on,
Hold on.
Yeah, hold on. But this is.
That's what I'm saying.
I ain't even peeled back the layers at first. I just was looking at it. But like, if you even take your time with it. But it's like, yo, like if she's stressing to the point where he's frustrated enough to where the paparazzi ask him this question and he respond, like that mean that like it must be more to it. So is he
right?
Listen, dog. Listen.
No.
Dog, listen, dog.
Have you
regardless of whatever? Guess what? Listen.
Have you read this?
I don't have. Listen. I don't have no kind of money that Future got. Guess what? My baby mom don't never got to come looking for me for the bread I got to give her.
Fine.
It's too many. Listen, the whole fact of the matter is this. It's for years. Our fathers, the fathers before that, these has been motherfuckers who haven't taken care of their kids. And they need to be put on blast, bro, regardless of...
For what?
Why not?
Listen, bro, why do we...
Because that sound real chatty patty and social media, bro. Blast for what?
I'm not sitting back. Listen, first of all,
so what's gonna happen now? So now he's gonna start paying.
I'm not saying
what he said.
Listen, I'm not saying
that shit. Real spicy nail emoji. That shit. Real spicy nail emoji right now.
Listen,
bro.
Man.
And you
letting the suckers up. It's all good until your daughter have a big father, and then it be like, then it hit home.
But that's not. But wait a minute.
It don't matter, bro.
Stop letting these suckers slide. Y'all letting suckers slide, bro. Point blank, period.
You can't control nobody, man.
Listen,
if this nigga, man.
Tyree, Neef, ask me how much child support come in my house. Ask me.
I don't care. Listen.
No. Because now we're gonna be real.
I'm not doing that with you.
So then don't talk about it. I'm just letting you know. Don't nothing flow through this house. Nothing flow through this house. Nothing flow through this house, regardless of sex.
Dog, stop letting these grown men. Stop letting these grown men.
No, I'm not talking about grown men. I'm talking about people. I said, regardless of sex, nothing flows through my house, and you know my situation.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with men. It has nothing to do with women. Regardless of that, nothing flows through my house. You understand what I'm saying? But nobody goes without around here. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Because I handle mine.
Regardless of that, should a man who has a child not be held responsible?
You keep saying man.
Okay, man.
Okay, can I say this? Look, as a man, when I get with a woman, if I got with a woman and she has kids, listen, bro, I get with a woman and she has kids. I'm looking at it like this. I'm coming in to be the man of that household. I'm taking care of that household. I'm running that shit. I don't see no other niggas. He ain't around. And if you stressing about that nigga, you don't need to be around me. You need to be around that nigga. Everything that we gonna do, I don't even care. I'm not
talking about that part, dog.
But no, so that's what I'm saying.
What I'm talking about,
we're saying that.
What you're not seeing is, no. What's going on, period, is, and as black men, maybe y'all don't think about this, dog, but as black men, that's what they see when they see us. All black men. What you mean, so? Because there's niggas out here that's not doing what they're supposed to do. Yours? Right, of course.
Do you believe everybody on this call is taking care of theirs? I'm asking.
Yeah, of course I do.
Outside of this group, I really don't give a fuck. That's my point.
That's cool. But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't be okay for a man, regardless of what another man doing, to not take care of his own child.
We're not saying that.
So we're saying you're arguing the wrong point, bro.
Yeah.
You're arguing.
That's the only point I'm arguing.
No, but that's not.
Yeah, but
niggas.
Rel saying like ultimately, Russell Wilson even commenting on it. If you already hold it, if you already hold it.
Bro, that's what we're talking about. You can't change it. You can't move the goalposts.
Hold on.
You moving the goalposts.
Moving the goalposts.
I'm saying
point blank.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you cook, Joe.
I don't think that, I wouldn't necessarily say it's corny. That shit sound like it's coming out of frustration. Because the way he went from there was like, they stressing this, that, and the third.
Why are you frustrated?
No, and like,
can I read this verbatim?
First of all, she's pregnant with a baby right now. She's pregnant with a baby right now.
Is she pregnant with a future baby?
Them niggas ain't missing no milk, dog. Like, what
his baby.
Right. Exactly.
Listen, of course he shouldn't be stressing about listen, it's not even about the bread.
He should have, you know what he should have did? He should have, you know what he should have did? He shouldn't have answered that. He shouldn't have answered that question, and he should have fucking went to her like, hold up.
Listen,
like, why the fuck
you know I know
this
guys
nigga about 50,000
guys that don't take care of their kids and on some personal life shit.
Yeah.
So what? Fuck you mean? So what?
You know how corny. You know how corny he is.
You lose sleep from a nigga.
He's a starting quarterback in the NFL, and the people that we're talking about, he makes more money than, and yet the nigga. The Future still the goddamn subject of everything. That's crazy.
Is that not your child? That's what I'm saying. See,
maybe none, bro.
Because you
matters none.
It's tripping. Neef, you're not listening. Killing me, dog.
Niggas saying, Neef, you're not understanding. Niggas saying,
no, you're not understanding. No, you're not understanding. What I'm saying is this: as a man, when you got kids that's outside of your marriage,
for every man. Right? You keep speaking for every man.
Niggas should be held responsible for that shit, regardless of what another man.
Held responsible like. How? So I should hold somebody responsible at the detriment of my own health? Yes or no?
Who said that?
The stress, nigga. That's bro. What? What the fuck?
Bro. Like,
you answer my question. Answer my question. Answer my question, bro. Answer my question.
What is your question?
That was my question.
What?
Should I be concerned about what somebody else does at the detriment of my own health? Yes or no?
No.
Thank you. Then
what I'm saying is, a man needs to be held responsible for his child, regardless.
You're talking about something different. You're talking about different.
So how do you hold a man responsible for not taking care of the child?
It's obvious to me. It must be some court situation or something where he's supposed to pay a certain amount that he's not paying.
If you answer the question,
if this man running around, what's the question, my nigga? Like, what the fuck is the
question? When I was on child support, they garnished my check. So there was never a question of when the money was going to show up. So what you talking about?
Okay, so you giving suckers a slide. You let suckers slide.
No, you're not hearing what I'm saying to you. See, there you go, change the goalposts again.
All y'all letting the niggas slide.
No. When I was on child support, It never came into question where the money was coming from.
Dog, I'm not on child support, and the money come when it's supposed to come. Point blank, period.
Okay, that's a whole different situation. That's totally different. So then it's not a court situation then.
So if you worth all this bread, bro, if this nigga walking around all this bread,
who's worth all this bread? You the only one that think Future's worth a bunch of bread.
You pocket watching. You pocket watching.
You the only one who believes that.
I'm listening to what you're saying. I ain't pocket watching. If that's what you're saying out your mouth. If you
Who's saying that? You're the only one that believes that. I don't think the Future could get his hand on $1 million today.
Nope.
That's what I believe.
Nobody.
That's what I believe. You don't think he could touch $1 million?
Nope.
A hard cash in 24 hours?
Nope.
I don't. I'm not watching that nigga pocket. I'm saying that nigga. Oh, you think somebody had to say anything about
yo? He probably worth a cold.
Especially with 8. Fucking 10 kids.
He probably worth a cold 8.
So now with
he could probably get
$1 million. You think he get $1 million today?
He probably get a touch $1 million.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He got some bread. He got some credits. He got. But
I'm gonna read the statement, and I'm gonna brush this shit down to the corny shit that it is. Due to the stress that Future causes Sierra and Future Jr., Wilson said he doesn't want his wife to deal with. So that's sentence 1. Does she have to deal with it?
No.
Okay, got it. Right. Here's what Wilson said in an interview with Paparazzi. I don't like seeing my son. So you're already taking claim for the little boy and your wife stressing about a small amount of money. Sierra and her ex constantly argue because he's not consistent and can go months without paying. I can provide for my family without his little coins. So then you as a man should have dead that shit and said we don't need nothing from him.
Hold on. Wait a second. When did this nigga start talking like that? I don't even know if he really said this now.
This might be fake news.
Yeah, this might be fake news.
Which would be even funny, but it's good dialogue. I like it.
Yeah, it is. No, it definitely is. I hope, because I'm like, wait a second. Russell Wilson don't even talk like this.
He got other kids and no need for him to overextend himself because we are set for generations ahead. If you really believe that, dog, then there ain't no amount of money the Future's going to send for it to matter.
They probably asked him that shit the 100th time. He could have just been like, we good. Well, I don't know what you talk about.
Nigga, listen. If I had Russell Wilson bread, nigga, you still gotta cut that fucking check for your fucking kid. You fucking bust that nut, nigga.
You petty. Y'all have a good night.
I'm not right.
Right.
Yeah, come on, bro.
You can't even imagine having that type of money.
Yeah.
Y'all be letting.
No, you can't imagine having that type of money. Is my point. That's why you sound the way you sound. No, for real. How much you think he owe? No, how much you think he owe? No, let's analyze it. How much you think he owe? How much you think he owe? No, that matters. That matters. That matters. That matters, bro.
You not pay the money you got, bro?
$150,000 a month.
No. I'm talking about he probably owe $150 total.
So wait a minute.
How much money do you think Future has to pay a month if y'all believe he can touch?
So you think he got with Sierra to make another nigga man up? That's not why he got with her.
No.
Why the fuck would he be concerned with another nigga?
What do you think this is a real quote?
This might not be a real quote. This might be cat.
My twist is this: I pay child support.
Right.
And I'm not on child support. I give money, whatever, and I do for my child. Why shouldn't you want to? I'm bothered by that. That's
you talking about apples and oranges.
Who's to say he don't though? Who's to say he don't? We don't even know if he do or don't.
Well, this like the third baby mother that say he don't pay.
Y'all niggas be tripping and act like I'm crazy.
Russell Wilson make $2 million a month.
I'm not crazy.
Or just salary alone.
I'm not crazy. I'm not
$2 million a month.
That man make. That's not that man. That man ain't bust that nut.
So then why call him your son if you gonna carry it like that? That's my point. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You have it both ways.
You can't have what, boo?
You can't be the king of the castle.
Son, right.
Yeah, you can't be king of the castle and
asking the peasants for goddamn shillings.
I'm starting to think that this might not be a real quote because I can't even see it. He's been so smart with the things that he says, even as corny and rigid as he's been. I can't even imagine this nigga saying no goofy shit like this. It get goofier the more that we repeat it.
And it sounds like something a bitch would say.
The whole twist.
Facts. The feminine energy.
And I said it just like that, nigga. It's my birthday. I can say what the fuck I want to say, feminist.
You gonna get canceled.
Future's whole net worth is what Russell Wilson makes a year. It's just salary alone.
3 million?
No, 30. 30 million a year.
Future net worth 30 million?
Future net worth is 40.
Checks.
Fuck no. What?
Allegedly.
For checks. Oh, it's okay though, because Russell Wilson got that, so he shouldn't have to do that, right? He shouldn't have to pay, right?
No, that's not what we're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
We're saying
you keep skipping it.
Shut the fuck up, because you're paying anyway. We saying shut the fuck up, because you're paying anyway. That's what we're saying.
We're saying it doesn't matter. That's your wife. That's your son. It doesn't matter.
I didn't say you should stress. I'm saying that man should cut the check he put the check. I'm not saying nothing about that. We talking about two different things.
Exactly. No, we were talking about the article and you went on another tangent. That's my point.
You just told on yourself too. That's why we call you crazy and angry like you are. You just told on yourself.
Oh.
Because you just said we talk about two different things after we done argued for 10 minutes.
The thing is, he shouldn't have to pay because of what Russell Wilson made. It shouldn't.
Niggas never said that.
No, we didn't say that. We said that Russell. We said Russell shouldn't.
Niggas never said that.
No, we said whether he
put your headphones back in, yo. Put your headphones. We can't hear you, yo. We can't hear you. Put your headphones back in. This is good content. Put your headphones back in.
He's mad and shit.
Getting back.
I can't hear you. For real.
It's funny, dog.
Can't hear you, yo. Put your headphones back in.
This shit fell out.
No, we really can't hear you.
I can't hear you, bro.
Bro, text him.
We can't hear you.
Oh.
Yo, you cutting in and out. Put your headphones in, man. We plotting right now.
Like I said, that's my whole what y'all said was, this is my only twist with y'all. I got no problem with anything y'all got to say about Russell Wilson. None of that shit. My only issue is y'all saying, all four of y'all, there shouldn't be.
No, we didn't say that.
Nope.
This is what we said. Neef, listen. We unanimously.
None of y'all said.
Look. We said
when
this.
Did any of y'all say that he should pay child support?
This is what we said. We said that it doesn't matter whether he does it or not. Russell Wilson needs to be concerned with his wife feeling that she needs to even care about it because he has so much money he can take care of it. We're not saying that Future shouldn't pay a child support.
Never said those things.
That he shouldn't.
That he shouldn't either. The whole time, that's what I was saying.
We just saying that as Russell Wilson, as a man, you take the responsibility of your household and you don't speak on it. We're not talking about right or wrongs. We're not talking about whether a nigga should or shouldn't. We just saying as a man, Russell, if he made that statement, which we know a bitch wrote it, not him, that he probably shouldn't even speak on that type of shit.
And what I've been saying was, regardless of what Russell Wilson got, Future should still be held responsible for what he got to do.
He should be held responsible.
Niggas never said that.
Should his wife stress?
That's all I ever said.
Should his wife stress? That's my question.
But did I say that she should?
There's nothing else to talk about.
Did I say that she should? Did I say that?
No, you arguing right and wrong between if he should pay child support or not.
We never said, he shouldn't be held accountable. We just was like, it don't matter.
That's all I've said. No,
we just said
he should be.
We said,
regardless of whatever.
Hey, you drinking Ripple over there, huh?
No. Regardless of, I'm not that on. Regardless of the money
right now.
No. Regardless of the money that he makes, whatever. You have a responsibility to your child.
Yeah, we saying it don't matter because like Russell shouldn't say shit because it doesn't matter because he's taking care of business.
I didn't say Russell. I said I feel like people who don't do it, they need to be put on blast. I feel like that. Not necessarily even Future.
I don't feel like he was putting them on blast. He just was. I think
his wife is tripping. He not tripping. His wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if this shit is real, it seemed like the nigga frustrated.
As black men, we see on social media how dads ain't shit, boom, 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 da 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 da. So when this niggas out here with all this fucking money supposedly, and you not doing what the fuck you supposed to do, that bothers me, dog.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? Because when we
I
every
don't
day,
pocket watch though. That ain't my thing.
I'm not saying pocket watching. What I'm saying is, you're saying that. I'm not saying that. I didn't Google how much. Y'all told me how much it was worth.
No, but I'm saying like I can't. I'm not going off of what.
But I'm not fucking with the chick. I'm not fucking with the chick to watch over another nigga. If I fuck with you and I'm taking care of the kids, first off, I don't really want to see the nigga around here. Whatever y'all look, they could put that. They put that shit on cards now. Whatever the fuck is coming through, put that shit on the card. Nigga want to go see his dad. He gotta see his dad. That's cool. Rather than that, I don't care if the money come through or it don't come through. Bitch, don't even worry about it because I didn't took care of it. I didn't took care of everything he need. Now come over here with that bullshit talking about that nigga and that money. I'm gonna start thinking it's not about that money. It's about you want to fuck with that nigga.
Right.
Don't come over here with that bullshit. You worried about nigga? I got 200 million. You worried about this nigga?
They shouldn't be stressing about. Yeah, they shouldn't be stressing about no 20,000.
You can get the fuck out of my house, right? I'll tell her that. You can get the fuck out.
Right. You can 1-2 step your ass right back to the fucking Atlanta.
Real niggas know what's up. Now him, I don't give a fuck about that nigga. Okay, make a song, nigga.
Wow, listen, tell me this though. This whole for as long as you've been going, none of y'all niggas address the issue that with him and what he not doing. I understand what you're saying.
We addressed it in our example.
I did say. I said, nigga. I said, fuck Future is not paying child support.
Yeah, right, that shit corny, dog. Like that's my only. That shit bother me in a way, bro. Like any man who they gotta have a child, right? But to say, but listen, to say, and I'm dead serious. To say, yo, it's as a man, he's still responsible for that. I'm not saying that his money should affect your household or whatever. But that man should be held accountable for what he's supposed to do for his child.
Should Russell Wilson call him and ask him where the check is?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is these niggas need to be held responsible for. They don't take care of their kids. That shit is corny. That shit ain't respectable. In the same way, when somebody snitch, just the way y'all, what's the name and what's my man name who about to come home? No, nobody want to fuck with him. We ain't doing business with him.
Tekashi?
Right. That snitching shit.
It's on the same token of I don't listen to his music no way. I wouldn't even bat an eye if he wasn't here tomorrow. That's my point.
Is the discussion not had though? Did we not talk about the fact that when he come home, who should work? We talk about that, and it's frowned upon, right?
Bro, I wouldn't care if he came out with an album tomorrow. I'm not listening to him or Lil Baby. like that's my point. I don't care what another man does.
So you saying cancel Future is what you saying?
What I'm saying, I'm not saying cancel him. What I'm saying is when we talked about the topic, it was more about what Russ, and I get all that. But
if you canceling Future for fucking child support, you late, nigga. Like that nigga ain't been paying child support for quite some time.
What I'm saying is, I feel like men who don't pay child support, we need to hold them accountable for whatever. I'm just saying that bothers me. That's all I was saying.
I'm with the folks. Like that shit come out my shit.
I'm saying at the detriment of my wife, I'm not holding him accountable for nothing. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what I care about. That's all I care about. I was addressing the article and nothing else. You changed the subject.
I'm saying in general.
I'm not talking about
general. Can I ask
we wasn't having a general conversation. We talking about Future in this situation.
Can me as a man stepping up and being a man not be valuable enough to where I don't even have to address another nigga like that? I can take that nigga's son and show that nigga's son how much more of a man I am than his motherfucking dad. I think the impact on that is way more than me calling Future up and chasing him for some money that I may not get. Furthermore, I'm still concerned with this motherfucker over here who's pregnant with my child, worried about
she's stressed.
Yeah. Like, nah, because that's really the real issue. It ain't about him. It's about why you tripping over Future. That's the real issue. So for me, it's like,
That shit funny style. Yeah, that shit funny when you think about it, bro.
I guess we agree that it was probably a fake news, but it would have been broad if it was real.
Yeah.
And
we don't know what it is.
Plus a fuck Future if it's true.
Right, that's my nobody saying that. That's the thing that's bothering me.
No,
like,
it's not good. It's not
fuck
good.
Future if that shit's true.
I mean, but this ain't the first. This like a Diddy joint. This ain't the first baby mother to squawk about your not paying child support. Like he didn't been in the on the blogs and other shit for like the other kids that he had not paying and all that shit. This ain't the first one.
This shit ran about how long? What time?
You gotta think he's not a solid nigga when it comes to
the money. It's about time for us to wrap.
Yeah. What's this? Is this episode 79? Even though we named the last one, that was 78, even though it was
8 and 24.
8 and 24. All right. Y'all done got me all worked up and shit.
Man, shit.
My man.
Your nostrils, they're like this. I'm like,
because because y'all was so focused on Russell Wilson, and I get that.
Because that's what we was talking about.
But Future not part of that, bro?
Go ahead and say Andy Reid, bro. Go ahead.
Future not part of that?
I know it's
Future's part of that
say
too,
Andy
bro.
Reid, bro.
Ain't nobody back here saying
say the Eagles, say Kevin Hart, say the Locks. Like, say something, yo.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, say something, yo.
Yo, no.
You know what I'm saying? Ben Simmons, you know what I mean? Say it.
Yo, I'm saying it.
You know what I mean?
You ready?
Kyle Lowry.
This is episode 79. Fuck out of here. Fucking done. I quit this fucking podcast. This is my last. I hope I get a deal like Flash. This is my last episode too.
Neef was mad as shit.
Yo,
because y'all was sitting there talking about Russell Wilson.
Like this.
The Future shit was like, what about this nigga Future? Y'all just letting that shit slide.
It wasn't about Future.
It was about Russell making
a comment. Yeah.
If he said
this, did say that.
Goofy.
But he wouldn't make the comment if.
No, he wouldn't have made the comment if his woman didn't make a big deal about it.
Exactly.
Right. Two things. Right. He wouldn't have made the comment if Sierra wasn't nagging, right? And he wouldn't have made the comment if Future paid child support. You happy, Neef?
They both can be true.
I'm not happy. Y'all can do this half an hour ago.
I'd kick Sierra out if I was him, though. I'd be like, hey, you gotta go.
Hey, baby, guess what you about to get child support from every month? Get the fuck out.
My shit coming on time. My shit gonna be on time.
Juice, he could have, he'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a whole year ahead of time.
Yeah. Here you go. Hey, don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah, y'all have
be a lump sum.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. Love y'all.
Y'all be cool, man.
Man.
All right.
Yeah. Yo, I don't fucking love y'all.